Hello, everybody out there in the internet. Welcome to Aimless Babbles, episode 369. I'm Chris Adams, Tech Master, joined by
Mr. Seymour, the nicest person you'll ever meet.
Watch out to call your
And I don't know who that is. What happened?
You had like
My God.
instant static when you went to say who you were, and it was like
It was intentional.
It was weird. But yeah, what we've been playing, middle segment we have not yet decided on, and maybe
Side note,
news,
Topic of the week.
because I did
Topic
not
of-
ask about news in pre-show.
Back when
Oh dear.
Back when we were just making stuff up.
you used to like ask a theme. I do like the themes, but I don't have anything for right now. So it's gonna be question time. Gather round, children.
So yeah, before we begin, I just want to say, with all of the, placing guilt upon taking over his choices in The Walking Dead last week. So, at the end of episode 4, season 1, when,
Who was placing any guilt on you for your terrible choices and being a horrible human being?
doesn't matter, I must,
You're a horrible human being.
bleep blart myself. But, there's episode, in episode 4, I believe,
Sounds like a fun position.
or 3, one of those two. and Ben's all like, "Oh man, just let me go, Lee. I don't want this anymore. I know I didn't let him go because that's not the type of person Tegan is. Tegan doesn't do that to
I
people.
did.
He doesn't let people just drop from the bell tower and like let them have that terrible fate that they're like, oh, I can't take it anymore. So I'm just asking because a certain someone on our podcast is just so
Yeah,
helpful.
Yeah.
When people are
Jerk.
asking to, do these things to them and do the whole euthanization process. So tropical. Did you let him go? Did you let him fall off the bell tower and be like, yeah, whatever, he wanted it?
Basically,
So in
yes.
the case of Ben, no, because
He was dead by
there
then?
was like he was not going to die. He was only going to die in the sense that we're all going to die.
Yes. Like
And
he
then,
wasn't
so he was
already
if
bitten
I
or
remember
something.
correctly, like that scene was like he just fell over the railing, or the railing broke or something, right? And
Yeah.
then he was like dangling there, and so you have the choice of like leave him and save yourself, which is what he's kind of saying, and he's like, I'm okay with it, or save him and possibly get both of you killed. So I don't think he's like, he did not appear to be suffering the way the other, like the bit person was, or the one who was being eaten alive was.
Even though he had the guilt of selling out
Yeah.
the group and letting all
just
the
had the
bandits
guilt.
in to have stuff go down in episode 3 of like the longest
What?
first day ever.
He
in the
did
series.
that? The gasp. Yep. Guess it's a good thing he died in mine then.
As far as like letting people die over their guilt, that seems that. So no, I didn't let Ben just fall because it was just like, yeah, I'm guilty. I deserve this. Let me die and save yourself. It's like,
It's like, okay, if you asked.
yeah, look, that is no.
I mean, let's be fair. He was not contributing much to the group. I mean, let's all be honest here.
Yeah, he was batting 0 pretty much on things he's done to help everybody.
He's like,
Especially at the end when he's like,
Help us
"Oh,
out."
I took this thing to." They're like, "How'd you do that thing with the door to break it open?" He's like, "Oh, I took that hammer that was holding it that one door closed." And
It's
then,
like, you did what now?
and they're like, "What?"
Hilarious.
He's so wacky.
And when they
We all said as we wanted
No,
to
I-
murder him when finding out what
As
he
far as
did.
Ben, it was just like he's young, and so I was like,
That doesn't
don't
make it
know
okay.
that
Doesn't make it
this
okay.
is like he's made mistakes, and I don't feel
You know
like
who else has
I
made
didn't feel
mistakes?
like
Hitler. But no, we don't go giving him second chances, do we? Just saying. Just saying.
it's hard to say what we would have done if
We would not have given him second chances, Tropical. Not have given him second chances.
So, like, do you think Hitler would have been executed had he been, like, arrested and charged with war crimes?
Of
Is that a
course
thing
they
that you
would.
can?
I mean,
Is
capital
that one of
punishment
the
was still a thing
punishments?
back then. That was like the fun times back then. They used to have capital punishment for everything.
But this is international law. Wait, was the UN after World War II?
It started like around there, maybe, or something. I don't know, but I just
World
know.
War One, they started the League of Nations. And was there no UN until after World War II? I can't remember.
I just
I think it was
know.
after, because that was kind of
After.
like the impetus of like, okay, dudes, we need to like make sure this doesn't happen again, or we have like a check on like the international balance, so it doesn't. We don't have this situation again. Here we are now, though. You know, ICBM is just shooting across the ocean.
Darkest timeline.
Really, really good to know that we solved all the issues of the last century. Good job, UN. Good job.
But yes, I don't think you would have been given a second chance, Tropical, because you know the whole genocide thing. Probably not forgivable offense. It's like, hey, I know you tried to kill like an entire race of people plus more people, but you know, it's cool. It's cool, bro. You totally didn't mean it. You totally didn't mean it because you are not insane at all. Yeah, no, I'm sure everybody would have been all lining up to forgive him.
Well, not forgive him, but I don't know if that we would have executed.
They would have executed him, Tropical. They would not have been like, hey, just in case, we're going to give this guy a second chance, because there's no way he'd probably think about doing something horrible like this again. He would. He really would.
But you know, as much as some people like to say, you know, oh Tekken, you're a terrible person because you only kill people when it's in your interest. It's like at least I have like, you know, a straight record as like, you know, I try to help them. And then if they got something for me, I'll help them even more, even if it means killing them. Just saying. So you know, that's just how it's
Hey.
gonna go down.
See, that's being a horrible person, because like you're doing it for personal gain. Tropical is doing it like in their interest.
Well,
See,
I
like,
guess Tekken's a terrible person then, isn't he?
we've established this already.
I guess so.
We've already established this.
Anywho,
Keep in mind, once again, Ben was not contributing to the group,
No, yeah.
so I mean, let's like
See,
call a spade a spade.
that's maybe for personal gain too, where if you let him die because he wasn't.
Hey, I didn't let him die. He technically fell off on his own volition. I mean,
Margie, I'm pretty sure if you don't save him when you can and you're in a position
I
to,
mean, listen, people are
that's
heavy.
either not
Stuff
saving
happens.
him or being implicit in his murder. Just saying.
Okay, fine. Okay, I mean, I did save him though, so I mean, I didn't let him die. But at the same time, though, he did get eaten anyway, so I didn't stop him from not sacrificing himself for Kenny when he was just like, "I'll do it." I was like, "Go knock yourself out," I guess. I mean, it's not like you've been doing much of anything else. So, needless
So,
to say,
spoilers for Batman Begins, like
Batman Begins.
when he says, "I don't have to save you either," like. I don't know that doesn't count as murder.
it kind of does, because death by inaction is still murder, because you could have did something, but you're like, nah, I'm gonna let this slide because I don't like you.
So, yeah.
But no, I consider that to be a very different situation.
I consider that murder. Is what I consider it, because
No,
that's what
not
it
the
is.
not the Batman thing. The Batman.
Oh,
thing.
that.
Yeah, the Batman thing. I was like, eh. I mean, this is the second weird part about this scene. The first was when he said the thing that Roz was always saying to him about minding his surroundings. I was like, that doesn't work right here. That's like if you suddenly said, like, "You're fired," or "Get off my plane."
Right.
It's like,
It's like, we're not.
like, what are you talking about?
What's happening? Have you been drinking before? Hanging out here? It's like, I might have had a few. Don't judge me. All right.
It's tough being Batman.
Like, all right, Batman. I mean, I'm just gonna blame this on the fact that your parents were murdered. Maybe I don't know where the psychosis is coming from, but yeah, fix it, brah. Batman is a very wounded character.
Okie dokie. So that was a nice, weird, cold open aimless style. And now we can get into what
Awesome.
we're playing.
Just like the oh man, what was that one called? Wolf Among Us. Yes.
Oh, now we can play our theme song. I don't know what our actual theme song is. So, yeah. Oh no, my game crashed.
You gotta imagine it includes stabbing robot dinosaurs in the butt.
In the butt. Because if not, then what's even the point? What's even the point?
So yeah, stuff I've been playing. So
Was it Horizon Zero Dawn?
no, it wasn't.
Stabbing robot dinosaurs
It
in the
was-
butt?
It was not Horizon Zero Dawn. But I did
Oh,
make progress in Final Fantasy VIII, and I got all the way through that final dungeon. And I gotta say, F you, Amicia, in your final dungeon, and all your minions, and all
in
your
the
sub henchmen just waiting in the castle, just like, hey, Squall, hey guys. Oh, we sold your powers, but you gotta fight us before we give them back to you. I mean, they weren't that hard, but it was such a nuisance. It's just like, dude, how many are there? And then like you see all your sold powers, and it's like, dude, really? And then it's just like, yeah, they killed them all.
All you have to do is just unseal the ones that you want.
I
And just be
mean,
like,
it was,
the other
it was I was using the guide with my phone, and I was like, well, I guess I'll do it. And I kept getting AP, and I was like, well, I guess I'll get all these abilities on my Guardian Forces, since, you know, that's kind of handy. Hopefully they'll come in useful in Final Battle. But then got to the Final Battle, and I got to that second form, and man, I gotta say,
oh, with the Griever / Ultimacia?
that was not a fun time. That was not a fun time, because I was like,
Why don't you
alright, I
just-
won! Alright, I won! And it was like, guess what, Tekken? This JRPG boss has more than one form. Surprise, motherfucker! And I was like, what? No! And I was like, no! Victory has been snatched from my clutches! I was so close! I've been waiting over 10 years for this! And then guess what? I got one hit on some... hit all the members of your party spell, and I was like, what the hell is this crap? And I was like, yeah, I was kind of furious. And I was like, well, F you too, Final Fantasy 8, because you're still not
Did you-
my favorite. So, yeah.
Did you have everybody's, like, ultimate limit break?
I do not. I don't know. I don't even have, like, weapons. And I was like, dude, I need to go to a shop. And I was like, I don't know where any shops are at. I don't feel like backtracking. And I was like, dude, I'm so kind of upset right now. And I was like, ugh, whatever. So yeah, that wasn't a fun time.
Oh no!
And then
Because I mean, by that point, I had everybody's like ultimate limit breaks going on there, just spamming Shockwave Pulsar, and then like Invincible Moon and Wishing Stars everything, and then Final Heavening everything, and whatever it is Squall does. And I don't know why Urban was there, but I killed him off pretty early in the fight, so who cares? But yeah, it was a fun time. It was a fun
The guide I
time.
was using was not very good on the whole. You should be doing this thing for this thing later, just so you know. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And now I'm all like, oh, well, I guess I'll just.
Never told you to kill your partner.
It didn't
Or
tell me
the
to kill my
party
party
members
members.
you
No,
didn't
so I was
want.
like, luckily RPG told me that, or I'd have been like even more effed in this fight.
In the B.
So you know, I'm stuck on my own devices here, and also Leilokin was all like, oh yeah, Tekken, battle skills to like whoever your highest leveled people are, and my levels are like all over the place because weirdness.
It skills to Squall, not all of them.
Okay, yeah, because
You
of
can
that.
actually have a really weak Squall or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like super
I remember
powered
someone
party
telling me
members.
that.
So like Swall's like my highest, and then like I'm using Runo and Zell, and they're like, Zell's like kinda up there, but not at the same level, and like Runo's like super low. She's like 29, Squall's like 50 something, and I was like, dude, this is...
How in the bloody blazes?
Cause she was like incapacitated for that whole disc, or that one time when she was like
Yeah, but
in space
The
or
whole
whatever.
disc.
The entire disc, not just, like not just part of it, the entire
You're
disc.
supposed to get her out of space?
So that
like, what do you-
happened. That, you know,
Oh.
and Tiger Fox was like, oh well, I had my selfie using these certain limit breaks, and I was like, I don't use selfie. And then like Quistis with like these
You're-
abilities, like I don't use Quistis. So I was like, yeah. So I was
See,
like,
there's your problem. Well, one,
I was favoring other. I
Selfie's
found
powers
characters I
work
liked,
on-
and I used them as my team. And then everybody else was like, "F them." And then yeah, now it came back to bite me. So whatever. So
But selfie, her limit break like works on even bosses. Like her final one works on like everything. So it's like a one hit kill on anything.
What?
It's called The End. I mean, it's extremely rare to come up in her slots, but if it does, it like shows this little pasture of flowers, and then The End comes up, and then everything is dead. And I was like, well, That was
Awesome.
anticlimactic, but effective. Yes. Because she has another one called Rapture, but it only works on normal enemies, and it just puts angel wings on everybody and carries them up to the sky. But then, the end works on anything. Anything.
Is the assumption that they die, or what happens? So they go into space?
I'm assuming they just stop existing eventually. I don't know. I never questioned her weird magic spells. I'm just like, this seems normal, I guess. And she's not a sorceress. I don't.
Bad guy.
It's like I don't. Basically, yeah, I was like, it's like no more bad guys. It's like, well, this worked because everyone's dead now. But yes, it's unusually powerful. But and the only problem is with Quistis is because it's like, I guess that you have to like go through the trouble of collecting the items to give her limit breaks, that most people don't bother with most of them because they're just like, you're too much work. Because even to get like Shockwave Pulsar, which is like one of the only limit breaks that breaks the damage limit, it's like you have to go through leveling up the worst GF, and then you have to like use said GF's power to refine 99 of this one thing, then 99 of this other thing, and then combining this, and it's just like it's just a bunch of work.
Exhausting.
It's a bunch of work. I mean, all my characters are level 99 by the time I got to the final boss fight anyway, so it's like trivial once Renoa kept spamming Invincible Moon the entire match. I was like, well, we can't die, so we are literally unkillable right now. So I can just stay in here and hit attack all I want, and it's like, it wouldn't matter. We can cherry tap you to death, and there's nothing you can do about it. But watch us do it. But
you can still sort of have it be like a broken final boss without cheesing it by like constantly keeping Squall dead throughout the game.
I mean, I guess so, technically, yeah, because he'd be so low level, then everything else would be so low level by extension. But my Squall was level 99, so everything else was also level 99.
But you were still invincible at the end.
But I was still invincible, so it didn't matter. Because it's like, well, I mean, at this point, it's like nothing can kill us, so... And the funny thing is like, that was just by luck, because you can't even choose Renoa's limit breaks. They just happen randomly, so...
Yeah, I keep getting the stupid Angela Rush. I haven't gotten, like, anything else. All I have is, like, the dog comes in and, like, runs through and attacks. And it's like, dude, that is not what I wanted.
Because I think I read somewhere that, like, the best way to work for that is just to, like, only teach him the good ones. But I was like, well, I didn't know this already. So I was like, by then, he had already learned everything. So I just had to get lucky, and... he kept spamming Wishing Star and Invincible Moon. I was like, well, I mean, nothing can really stop us right now. And then Squall kept pulling out Lionheart. So it's like we were basically just attacking for 10,000 damage with 20 hits of combos. I was like, well, each of these forms is going down very quickly because, we can't be killed. And all of our attacks are doing 40,000 damage a turn. So, yeah. So I saw the ending pretty quickly, to say the least.
Hey, that happened to me in 10. Like, I never saw the end boss attack. So I just thought the end boss was like those pillars. And then that was it.
It's like, nope. Oh, that's true. Because it's like, I had, like, as a matter of fact, I think I used, like, what do they call it? The sisters, the Mega Sisters during that fight, and they pretty much like ripped him apart. I was like, well, it's like this was pretty it was like this is pretty trivial because they can break the damage limit without any of my crest or the needs for those stupid crest and things. So yeah,
it was weird because I saw it later. Someone else was playing. I was like, wait. This part is a fight? I thought it was like an ending, like sort of a clever playable cutscene.
like the pitched battle, like with the final boss. With that guy, the symbol guy.
Yeah, but it was not. It was an actual fight. It's like, huh. Who knew? Not me.
So yeah, it looks like some grinding may be in order here, but I'll get there eventually. Before my 2DS XL comes in, and yeah, I'm switching over to Nintendo games on handheld, so yeah, whatever.
No.
So yeah, besides that, played some Destiny, nothing much to report, just working on some quests and stuff, and boxes of
It's your destiny.
Age of Triumph stuff, whatever.
It's your destiny. I just made up a
Um,
theme song for Destiny, guys. You're welcome. You're welcome, everybody out there who wanted. Theme song you didn't know you wanted, but now you have it.
And
Destiny.
then the only other thing I've been playing besides that is lots, well not lots, but on the daily, some Mass Effect Andromeda, because they had this update, they changed a bunch of stuff, they added a bunch of stuff, added Batarian, added Platinum difficulty, and then oh yeah, okay, so okay, there's like a lot of stuff in like the multiplayer and crap, and like the strat teams and crap, and so I was like using the app every day on my phone to like do the stuff and stuff, but there's like nothing to like really use the currency on until this latest update, and they have a thing where like they have a pack where it's like a, I forgot what it's called, but it's like a, basically you get like one ultra rare character, but then every week it switches. So this week it was a new like ultra rare character. I opened it. I got a Solarian. I don't remember.
Oh, but like you know which one you'll get?
No, you don't know. It's
And
just
it's just-
random like every other pack. So it's RNGesus.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's like for sure like you're guaranteed to get like a ultra rare if it's an ultra rare thingy.
Yeah.
There's also like one for like a rare and I think uncommon in the store. But I'm just like getting the ultra rare crap 'cause that's like the most annoying stuff 'cause it takes so long. And but like with like normal credits anyway. But I have like a ton of the mission funds, which is the currency for the Apex missions, which I keep doing on my phone every day. And so I had like a bunch of those saved up. And I got one of those, and they had a bunch of equipment that's new, and I got all that. But then they added more, so it's like, you know, I before the patch I had like all the equipment, but then they added a bunch more after that. And then they added this thing where basically if your character is, it's weird. See, okay, so it's so weird because I loaded up Mass Effect 3 to like check out the multiplayer to like see something. So I was like, okay, I don't remember if I grabbed enough about this or much about this like when we first started playing multiplayer. But, like in 3, you can just like level up the class that you're using, and like it's for all the characters for that class. Like if you have an adept, that's an Asari or human or Drell, whatever. All those characters
They
are
all
that
get the
level for that
levels.
class, yeah. And with this one, it's every character. So it's like no.
Oh.
Your XP doesn't carry over between every character in that class. It's per character. So it's like, you know, your
That's a
human,
lot of work.
yeah, it's like it's exponential amounts of like grinding versus what it was in 3, and it's like, well, you may have a level 20 human soldier female, but your human soldier male is level blah 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 blah. So have
Wait,
fun.
they even do it by
Two.
gender too?
Yeah. So like
Yeah.
Oh my
all the
gosh.
humans have 2. Well, not all the humans, but all the like common human classes have 2, and then the rares are just like separate, and then the ultra rares and the uncommons. It's just like it's just like it made me like not want to play because I was like, dude, I'm not grinding that crap. That's why I like had not jumped in super whatever into the Mass Effect in multiplayer. And then this patch came out. It didn't it didn't do any better to fix that. And then they made it weird because now all the class, like before, all the classes were capped at the rank of 10. So the way they did it this time was weird because you have like you can get up to level 20, but then each character, as far as like the cards that you get that unlock, you had to get 10 of them to get to rank 10 to get all your skill points, which was stupid, but whatever. And so now they basically have like done a new thing where you can go over 10 into I think 20, because I was playing over the weekend and I saw some people with like level, or not level 20, but rank 20 characters, and I was like, what? So that means they have like 20 cards per character that you can get, and, but once you're over 10 you get a veteran perk, and then like your veteran perks, they like give you bonus stats every time you get one. And I have like 2 characters, one of the engineers and then one of the other ones, and basically it just like gives you more damage with your weapons and your powers for that class. So like as you're getting like, you know, more and more of them, you're more powerful with that character. But then it's kind of annoying because it's like, well, what if it's not a character I want to use? So it's like, oh. And then they also added for the weapons, it's really weird too, like 3 different variants of all of them. So there's like a bulwark one, which is like when you get a headshot, they get it by. I could be wrong. There's like 3 different ones. I don't remember exactly what they're called or like which ones are which. But like the bulwark one is like you get a headshot and like it's about explosion trigger, so that's pretty cool. And then there's a I can't remember what the in the game what it's called, but I'll just call it like the vampire one because like when you do damage you get health back. And then
Life steal.
And then there's a third one
Lifesteal.
that is I don't remember what it's called. I'll just call it support, where like if you're with your team, that you, I think, either do more damage or you take less damage. So that's neat.
Rattle the troops.
You just want to like be with your team in this one spot on the map, and then focus fire, and then just stay in there in your little foxhole and do stuff. But I haven't.
Oh, Whatcha, wow, indeed. Yes.
And I only tried
Yeah.
platinum once, and I didn't
your
last
box.
like very long, and it's just as hard and annoying as it was in 3. But I didn't really play platinum in 3, so it's like I probably will steer clear of it in this one too, just because it's like, well, I don't really want mixing enemy factions and a bunch of boss units in the field, because it's like that's a bit too much. Okay, gold is like it was weird because I was playing gold over the weekend, but like it was like with like people that have been playing it since launch, I guess, because they're like really really high level and like really awesome. I was like, when I'm playing this with like randoms that are like really into this in this game that like had not been like playing anything else, I guess. It's like it's really nice to like just jump into a nice gold match and have my level 20 infiltrator, and then like I kind of felt like I was being carried. I was like, I enjoy this. I don't have to try, but I can like help my team still, and we got through it super easy. And I was like, that was very not in as intimidating or fearsome as gold usually is. When I'm like, oh man, kind of because like in Mass Effect 3 I'd like played it so much that I was like, actually I was like, whatever, gold, I got this. But I just haven't put the time into Andromeda to where I'm at that level, where I feel like I'm at that level. So it's nice to just jump to a random game. I mean, obviously there's gonna be like, I'm sure some where it's like, I'm on gold, but then there's people I'm within gold, they're just not doing that great. So yeah, I'm ready for that, but whatever. I just want to get the credits to get my crap. So nice that they have a bunch more stuff to get, but man, it is just a flooded market in that game of just, you don't know what you're going to get when you open packs, because there's so much crap they added, and just there's so much of it. So
Oh no, it's economy inflation.
because yeah, I just want to get the I think it's the human kineticist that has pull and throw, because that's like a fun combo all the time to just Batic explosion. And that Solarian with his VI thingy. So those are the two I want, and I'm sure there's some other ones. Whatever, just get all of them in just to play with them. But yeah, yeah, Mass Effect Andromeda, and then I will be playing that, doing the daily challenges until the next Apex mission, and then I'm just like, I'm gonna take a nice breather, because that was a very, even though I wasn't playing it as much, I was playing it a lot, and I just like, it took a chunk of my free time of just like stuff I could be doing. That's kind of more important. I was like, well, I would like to play more Mass Effect Andromeda, but I need to make smart decisions with my life at this point in my life, and I can't do this to myself. So I'll be back. So just keep the fire warm, and I'll be right back. But
The fire warm.
that's all I've been playing.
What's the fire?
I was gonna, okay, to make it more weird for Tropical, because he's like, "What's the fire?" I mean, I'm just saying, Tropical, the fire in the fireplace, so I can go away and do stuff, and then I'll be back, and I'll be ready to make more about explosions and have fun and stuff. Yeah.
Well, on to me then. This week, for some reason, I really wanted to play XCOM.
Good choice. It's super
Because
fun.
I remember I left it. When I left it, I think I had first encountered one of those disc enemies that turns into like,
The little
know.
sentry thing.
yeah, it's like a disc, and then it like opens up and it has
Yeah.
all these arms and stuff,
And
and
it's
it
like, surprise.
does a ton of damage.
I'm
Uh,
something far worse
And
than
I
a
think
frisbee.
I seem to recall they have some sort of explosive as well.
They fling
But-
grenades.
Yeah. Anyway, one of those had killed 3 of my 6 people who I had
Jeez.
basically had since the beginning of the game, and then I was like, oh crap. And I think I ended up
The
failing
appropriate
that
reaction.
mission.
Tropical's playing
So-
XCOM Attack on Titan edition.
Basically. No one
I-
lives.
My favorite characters are dead. Tropical.
It was like. Am I gone again?
Okay, you're
No,
back.
you're here.
That's
Hello?
weird.
Are you guys gone?
I'm here. What?
We're
What's
just
happening?
Actually, my internet has been weird, so
Oh.
that's very sad to me. And the new service in my area that I'm hoping will be super good doesn't come out until May. Anyways,
May
yeah.
of next
so
year?
next year,
That's a long time, Tropical.
yeah. But now I have fiber. Yes. So, despite that, I decided, yeah, I'm gonna go back and play it now. And there's like aspects of the game that I totally forgot existed. I guess part of it is like I'm excited for Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
That thing, the rabbits and the plumbers.
But yeah, no, I totally forgot about the whole base building part. I was like, oh wait, this part was awesome about XCOM 2, and I sort of doubt that the Mario game is going to have this. So it's not
Built their own
all
castle.
Mario XCOM. It's just the fighting part.
It's called Kingdom Battle for a reason. You build your own kingdom. Build your own kingdom.
Well, so I started the game, and I guess because I have a save file, it didn't show me the tutorial stuff. So there were other aspects that were more important than just knowing that base building existed that I didn't remember either. For example, launching satellites is how you increase your income. And I did not realize that when I was launching the satellites. I thought that the money that they showed was how much it was
Magical?
going to cost for that satellite to be up there, and I was like, oh man, the US is 180. Well, I'll just deploy to a cheap place like India. And then it was like, okay, now I have this thing deployed.
Whatcha.
And it was like giving me only 60, I think, at a time. And I was like, this isn't. Why do I have so little money? And yeah,
Because your enemies remained unknown.
pretty much. I was only covering like small parts of the map, so I had no money, and like I was really just scrapping by. And like my dudes were dying addict ways, which was sort of cool, but also like bad for my progression.
Yes.
I got a sniper up really, or like fairly high level, almost maxed out, and then she got one-shotted in the face at some point by like enemies that just appeared and we didn't know they were there.
Welcome to
Like,
XCOM.
oh my gosh! And I was like, well, here we go again. And so I've just like, this has been a totally different playthrough, first playthrough, which somehow I did quite well and had no deaths.
It's probably because at the time you didn't just pick it up after having not playing for
It's that
years.
shutdown next. Maybe it had taught me, so I understood how to play it, and now this time I'm just trying to remember how to play it.
Basically.
Yeah, like I've lost so many good soldiers. Then I was doing like pretty okay on a very difficult mission. It was like one of those ones where you have to save civilians.
Oh, I hate those.
And there was like 10 chrysalids, the melee ones that like turn people into zombies.
They are the worst.
And they were
They are
just
the worst.
everywhere, and we were just. One of our guys died and turned into a zombie, and then I had 5 people, and we were sort of hunkered down, but we were winning. I was like, we killed so many of them, and we killed all the zombies too. I was like, yeah, I think we're gonna win. And then the game like just froze and crashed, and I was like, no, I didn't save at all today because I was thinking, well, I'm just gonna keep playing, so there's no point in saving.
Welcome to XCOM.
And yeah,
There's no autosave?
I lost.
I think autosave was... No, I'm pretty sure they had it, because 2 has it.
You have to turn it on. It's not on.
But you have to put it... Yeah, but I say you have to actually have it
Yeah,
on.
it does have it, but it's not. So, yeah, I lost a day's worth of
Ouch.
progress, just like that. And I was like, well, I guess this space is done. So I started a new file. Well, I went into the options because, like, when it crashed, I was like, "Wait, was this game that unstable? I don't remember crashing it before." And yeah, the thing that occurred to me was like, there's that Iron Man mode, right, where like you can't load saves or something like that. I was like, so what would happen if it crashed while you're playing that? But it turns out that one is like autosave, so it turns on autosave. So you can never load a past save. It just keeps rewriting saves. So yeah, it would work. But on this one, I was like, I'm just gonna start a new one, and there's an autosave option. Okay, I can turn that on, and then see if I can do this. Now that I know how the economy stuff works and how I get more money, it's like, let's try this again. So I start over. And I guess we'll see from there. So far, no one has died, so that's good. I had so many deaths by this point already on my other playthrough. But man, the game is so good. Oh, I found out as I was looking up if the game was unstable or not. If you turn off like soldier voices and like cinematics and things like that, like the frame rate is a lot better. Which is weird. I had not expected that. It did when I was playing before turning all that stuff off. It felt kind of unstable, but I didn't think it would crash until it did, and then it was like, okay. I'm gonna turn everything off, turn on autosave, and then try this again. Pretty cool. But yeah, I have no idea what happens beyond those flying saucers. That killed me.
Beyond Two Souls?
Because I've seen it. I've never been that far in the game.
Wait, you played 2 already, right?
No, but I have it. Yeah, I'm hoping to finish XCOM and then play 2. And then play Mario. It's perfect.
2 has far worse things than the Chrysalis, and then they are still there. They are still there.
Excellent.
But it gets worse. It gets worse. I saw things, Tropical. I saw things. Things were done to me that I did not enjoy. And then some things I did enjoy. But also, later on in the game, once you have psychics on your team, then it's pretty much you're unstoppable as long as you build them correctly, which is difficult to do because it costs an absorbent amount of money and resources. But I had 2 of them. Yeah. I said, challenge accepted.
Yep.
But then it got worse.
Yeah, playing this time, I knew there was stuff that I hadn't seen, but then I guess I wasn't aware of how much early in the game. Because the story only progresses when you do the main objectives, right?
Yeah.
Yes, kind of.
I think that like the third level is always going up because you're on a timer.
'Cause-
As far as like your
Yeah, because there's a timer for everything.
The crazy the enemies come out too. But then I think the story doesn't progress unless you do the things.
You
that
actually
they
have to
want
do
you
like the objectives.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the researching.
So
and
story
stuff.
mission. I'm up to the part where I'm supposed to invade my first alien base.
All your base belongs
And
to
I've-
us.
But I just lost like some of my good people. Oh wait, no. I sacrificed that base. Moving on. Steam sale, and also the PlayStation mid-year sale. Picked up a lot of games, or wanted to pick up a lot of games, and just was like, oh, backlog. I had to find games that I could finish relatively quickly, and decided, oh yeah, I got Firewatch. I want to play Firewatch. So put in Firewatch. Okay, I'm going to talk about Firewatch I finished, and also Gone Home I played through and finished. And both of those games are games that are like, something creepy is happening, and then it's like, no, actually it's not. It's really funny, like I thought it was when I first played Gone Home, I didn't play through all of it. I just played through like some of the beginning or something. It means a similar type game but set on Mars. This was in the early days of those types of games. And I asked him, I was like, yeah, so is it sort of just a byproduct of, like, is the scariness of these settings sort of a byproduct of you being alone in this place? Because it's be in a house with just no people. And he was like, yeah, I guess sort of. But then playing Gone Home this time, I was like, actually, no, like the game purposely makes it creepy for you.
Yeah, because the like weather
or
and the time of day.
Like sort of like everything is happening in your head, and like you could see where it could be creepy, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the weather.
That happened to me.
There's a part where you like pick up a cross and the lights go out. And it's like, oh my gosh, that's scary. And then they're they're just talking about like ghosts, psychos, and it's like,
there's like this whole like
is this really not
like
I don't know
activity
everyone.
Haunted
Yeah.
Oh, ghosts. We're gonna do a seance. Oh, look, it's like, okay, this is escalating quickly. Where's this leading?
Yeah.
It's escalating quickly.
And you're like going through, hidden doorways that are like in the walls. I was like, you know that the monsters live in the walls, right? That's their thing. And yeah, like it's sort of. I always thought it was in my head, but then I played it, through this time. It's like, it's not all in my head. Like they did stuff on purpose to make you, and I don't know why they did it. Like maybe because Gone Home was like one of the early examples of these games, and so they sort of had to do something. And has that, which I thought was pretty interesting. But since Gone Home is quite old, then I've heard a lot about it, and Firewatch is not as old, but I haven't heard. I really knew what was happening. And then, yeah, it had that aspect too, where it's like, something weird is happening. Are we gonna go crazy? Have people gone crazy before us?
Yes.
And then, yeah, nothing. It's not that kind of game.
So wait, what exactly is Firewatch? Is it just a game about you watching fires burn?
You're a park ranger in the Yosemite. Stuff goes down.
Yeah, I would say it's a story game. So there's like story choices that you have before.
It's like Portal without portals, kind of.
Portal without portals.
Because you're being
that's
led
not Portal,
by the NPCs, but you don't really trust them all the time, and it's like, what's going on here? And there are choices to make, which is kind of cool. So it's kind of got like some replayability too. Where I'd imagine, because I haven't played it more than once.
Really? You can play it trusting. I trusted my. See, like there. So a lot of the gameplay itself is just hiking. Like you're just walking around places, and it takes a while. Like some of these, you don't walk very fast. Some of the things are pretty far apart. And then there's like a few. Is there really anything else? Yeah, I think. Well, there's a few parts where you have to like find keys or like find certain things. But for the most part, it's just. Most of it is like, yeah, I'm walking through this area now, and then I found this place, and then you hear, and then you can like choose to talk about it on the radio and report on the radio, and like the dialogue is pretty engaging, I guess. It's like it's a story game. It's mostly about the dialogue. And yeah, you get choices, and yeah, you didn't. For the most, like in my playthrough, for the most part, I trusted Delilah.
Oh, I
trusted
her. It was just there was a lot of fishy stuff going on. I was like, I don't know, man. You say you've been here for like a while, and this stuff is like dated a while. So, do you know? Do you not know?
Did you think she was a sentient AI?
They always are. They always are.
This was some sort of.
I needed to have some like face to face, because I was like, okay, this is getting weird, man. Towards the end, I was like, I know I'm not crazy, but I kind of feel like I'm crazy right now, and you're weirding me out. You're weird taking out, and I kind of know the truth. Got these like weird government thingies going on here, and I know something's afoot. Something's not right. You can't make me. Tekken's gamer intuition's going off, and it's all like ding 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 ding, and like yeah.
My gamer intuition sounds like wow, wow, wow.
Does it sound like BB-8 RPG? Or is that a metal detector?
Wow, wow, wow! Intuition!
That is what mine sounded like. I was just using an example.
Oh. That's what mine sounds like.
I had to make a noise for mine to be like way weirder than that.
Mine says, hey, look at this! 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 I'm like, all right, intuition. Stop doing what you're doing, please. It's weird.
Hey, listen! Hey, listen!
Basically. The
Does
ultimate
your sense sound like?
Spiders. It's like, oh, I think my spider sense is going up. Spiders. I don't know if that's right. Spiders. It's like, my spidey sense is sensing some serious danger right now. Spiders. But yes, I would not trust whoever that was, just in case.
Thought it was good. Longer than I thought. Thought it was gonna be a shorter game. Yeah, it was quite good. Gone Home, same thing. Like I sort of knew what it was about, but I didn't know how it was going to be presented, and so when I finally saw the whole presentation of everything, I was like, oh yeah, that was a good story. I'm glad I played those. I also picked up another story game, which is sort of last week Tekken compared it to 3/4 Home. Because it
from the trailer, kind of.
Like, you're driving a
more
car,
involved.
and you're choosing, like, things to say. Yes, it is more involved. In 3/4 Home, you only have throttle, so you don't steer. You just, there's go and there's stop, and that's it.
And how are the radio stations?
And later there's, like, left and right. in like a short story part. And then so Wheels of Aurelia is the name of this game. It is like a little bit more involved in that you have to steer in some parts. I don't really understand what the game is yet, though, because it has like tons of endings. I think there's like 16 different endings.
There's a lot.
Oh my.
And there's like branching paths. So it's sort of a isometric view driving game where you choose dialogue and stuff. And it looks like there's like portraits of the people conversing in the corners, and you can sort of see how their expressions change depending on what you say. And then, in addition to that, there are hitchhikers. So every once in a while, you'll see a hitchhiker, and then you can
I saw that
pull up
movie once.
and like let them come aboard, and then you can either continue talking with the person that you like started with, or you can start talking to the hitchhiker, and then I don't really know how it works yet, but some combination of what you're talking about and who you pick up and which roads you drive down, because like the hitchhikers aren't necessarily going where you're going. So sometimes you have to exit the road to like these small cities on the way. Through some combination of all these actions, you get an ending. and I haven't quite figured out how that works exactly. So far, I've gotten 2 endings, and they were both like bad, objectively bad. In one of them, the quote unquote friend that you're with in the beginning sells the paparazzi, and then in the epilogue, apparently you die in a terrorist attack.
What's the blazes?
And the other one, and then in the other one, you go missing, and then you're like, you were in the news before, so that's why people care, and so like you go missing, and then the friend that you're with in the beginning occasionally apparently appears on TV and like talks about you, but is always sad or something. It was just like, what is going
that
on?
escalated
So I don't really know what actions you take. Or what actions that you can take have what effects. I'm not driving carefully enough. And she like kept getting angry that I was like running into things, which, you know, to be fair, I was. It's like, it's hard to drive this car like this.
It's like, yes, I am a horrible driver. What's your point?
And so, yeah, like they just did not remain friends, I guess. And then I disappeared, and she was sad, and I guess felt responsible. So,
She showed up on late night television because reasons.
Yeah, to talk about my disappearance. So I guess I'm gonna have to give it more time to figure out what the heck is going on. Because I have no idea. It's very strange. And then I played a game that I got on the Steam sale called Orwell, which is a game about the surveillance state.
Oh, like 1984.
So yeah, I guess. It's it's sort of cool. The game interface is entirely. It looks like you're working on a desktop, and all you do is you comb through people's social media and stuff, and like learn things about them. People. Like Memorial Square. to be a user on this system, and then like an advisor appears and he tells you, yeah, so this is how you use it. Like basically, you find articles or we'll bookmark articles that are pertinent to what you're doing, and then you go through them and find like information on the target, like people we've targeted as people of interest, not like as assassins or whatever. There was this lady who was spotted there, and she had like priors in the area. So like you start going through her social media stuff and like finding out her real name and her address and like like the scary things that Tekken wants to live in his space bubble. And it's like it feels very realistic. It's like, yeah, if there was a system that could like sort of, or no, there is, like the internet is a system that allows you to do these
already.
He knows.
Yeah, you go through it, and then it's sort of like you find links to other people, and then those things become important, and then it's like this whole story about all this stuff that you uncover, and then yeah, it's really cool. I sat there and played through it in one playthrough, and it was like 4 or 5 hours. But it's really cool. The way that the game is set up and how I think it's really clever because you do feel sort of fun to like go through other people's stuff, which is why
Topical's a creeper.
Which is why the world is scary. Because yeah, you could easily imagine it's like, yeah, someone is totally fine doing this. How do I know? Because it does seem kind of fun. That game also has multiple endings, so I will probably play through it again. And yeah, I would say people should check it out because it is pretty neat. And like surprisingly fun, I guess, for a game about surveillance. Like some of these games aren't that fun. Like they're engaging, but they're not that fun. This felt kind of fun. Presentation was fun, and like
You're weird.
The weird thing. Is that all I played? I mean, I obviously played Paragon because that's my jam.
Haha, he said that's my jam, and he did it unironically.
That's all the stuff that you put in the
I'm
chat
old.
about it, Topical. About even playing.
All right. Yeah, Paragon. I was talking to RPG about this yesterday. Like the balance changes recently have it really feels like they balanced the characters because it doesn't feel like you have to have certain characters on your team anymore, or that your team feels really unbalanced if you have certain characters. So it all seems to kind of work out now. I got my 4th master character, and now I'm just like waiting. I guess like a huge update is coming soon, which is going to change a lot of stuff.
It's gonna change everything.
I'm like, should I just play a ton now and then just have my mind blown when it's all different and have to learn the game again, or should I like stop? Probably not going to stop.
Mind blow. They said they're going to introduce one more new hero, which is coming this week, and then after that, August is going to be the massive overhaul, and then we're going to get a bunch of new hero rebalances. So it should be cool to see what they do, because like Iggy and Scorch was they were kind of overdue, because they need to make Iggy great again. I haven't used him in like forever, Like I abandoned him.
So many
once.
phrases that have just been ruined.
Basically. Basically.
You can't say simple things now, like like if you're playing Age of Empires, how do you tell people to build a fortification around their town without without
Saying
feeling
build a wall. Yeah. It's like, hey, let's build a wall, guys. Let's build a wall.
erect a fortification?
Bow chicka wow wow indeed. Mm.
Oh wait, I did I did not know what it was. Turns out it's basically Binding of Isaac, which is a roguelike,
Gross.
but first person.
Like, what game was this?
And it is like, I don't know. You don't follow a jig. You're just sort of everywhere, and they spawn everywhere. Come from behind and Tower of Gun. Have you seen Binding? Hello?
I think I've heard of it. I mean, I know what Binding of Isaac is. I think I've heard of Tower of Gun, but I haven't played it.
Tower of Guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, Isaac works because you can see the whole room, and it's like a twin stick shooter. And so if enemies are like all around you, you can like deal with it because you know that they're there. Or maybe you can't deal with it, but at least you know that they're there. In Tower of Guns, they spawn enemies in sort of the same way, except that you're or either the side of you, like you can't see any. You don't know that they're there. And there's like no indication that they're coming towards you. I don't know. But yeah, that's
Well, you said the
Tower
armor
of
chapter
Guns.
which means go F yourself game in my list book, whatever.
Roguelike. Oh, I guess a gaming related, but not I played. Although I did press play. Castlevania is now out on Netflix.
Oh man, I meant to watch that for the podcast because everybody's like, dude, Tegan.
Is everyone
It's
really
pretty
like
short. It's
I
only
mean,
like
okay, not
4
literally, but like
It's
everybody's
movie-
like,
it's movie
gushing all
length.
over it.
Basically.
It's like 4
it's only
episodes
like
of awesomeness.
like
And it's
100
like-
minutes.
I put it on my queue.
Each one is like 23 minutes. It is pretty cool. It feels very faithful to the games somehow, or what we sort of think of when we think of the games. And like after I watched Castlevania, I went back and watched Game Trailer's Castlevania retrospective. And yeah, like the plot is pretty much the plot of Castlevania 3, I guess, like the early part of it. But it has elements that I remember of Castlevania, because the one I played was 2, where there was like the towns and then the day and night cycle, and they sort of have that same rule in the Netflix world, where it's like the monsters come out at night. Oh, actually, moving Aimless again, like the retrospective, I was not really aware that before Symphony of the Night, like Castlevania games were not structured in that way. Like the early Castlevanias would not be considered Metroidvanias because they don't have that structure. I thought that was interesting. But yeah, like the show is quite good. I heard today that they renewed it for season 2 and it's going to be 8 episodes long.
Yay, 2 movies.
I mean, they really did 2. And I won't.
Although, after seeing after seeing this, though, I have to say that Dracula's kind of justified in his rage. I mean, like, I don't understand why he's like the villain of the series.
That was the story in that one, in Castlevania 3.
Because I've never played any of the games before, so I kind of went in blind. So seeing this, I was like,
What? You never
why
played
is he?
Castlevania?
I have not.
Any of them?
Any of them.
Wow. You should know that.
So when I was watching, I was like, it's like, wait, why is everyone treating him like the villain? He's kind of justified in this. Because, I mean, He was minding his own business, and just all of a sudden, everybody's like, "Hey, LOL is gonna take the woman you love and burn her to death. Good luck with life." And it's like, well, I mean, now I'm not gonna say you all deserve what's coming next, but you all kind of deserve what's coming next.
And we can look forward to the Assassin's Creed from the same producer or director or something.
I kind of think so. Because, yeah, after I saw it, I was like, wow, this guy, like, I think he nailed it. Like, it sort of is like a really good adaptation of not actual Castlevania of, like, story and style, but Castlevania 3 story. Like that, it's quite cool.
That's a bit infuriating, just because, like, you know, I feel like we got sidetracked on this whole like movie adaptation thing when, like, I mean, just from like me being such a, like, I love the '90s X-Men cartoon show so much, of like I wish they could just do it again. It's like, you know, they could just do an animated version of like all the game stuff. I mean, Mass Effect Paragon Lost, it was good enough. I mean, I don't need a live action version like come and do shit up, but that was cool to see, like, you know, James Vega and some Lion Soldiers shooting up some collectors. It was a fun time. It's a fun time, okay? So it's like, you know, I could see that being a thing if we can get like way more of these on Netflix. Please, I'll take 10 of them. Okay, like all of them. So,
because I mean, some of these things, like at least the Japanese one, usually get like manga adaptations.
And, like,
so it's like
Japanese,
it makes sense
like, it
to
looks
do
so
it.
good. It's like
But
Super Fighting Robot Mega Man. Or, you know, back in the day, Sonic the Hedgehog.
I like Samurai Pizza Cats. Is my response to that.
Also, the not the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, but like the one that takes place in the Mushroom Kingdom, where you can get the feather, or the cape.
Back when they had like the actual,
It was like
I did like that one too, actually.
Edition, that one.
And they were all like cave people, and then stuff, and then magic, and plumbers, and good times were had. Good times were had. They should have like more adaptations for stuff like that, because it'd be cool to have like episodic adventures in the universe, or like to do, or even if it wouldn't be like a little side story to focus on a different characters, like what were they doing during like the nonsense that was going on during this story. So
did you ever watch, there was a mature Power Rangers like fan film on YouTube?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
That's the guy who made the Castlevania series.
Awesome.
Oh, interessante.
I saw his name, I was like,
indeed.
That looks familiar. And I just looked it up, like, oh yeah, that was that guy. I was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, like, it's just watching those things that he made, the Power Ranger thing. He did a Venom one and a Punisher one, with just like these fan films. Then watching Castlevania, it's like, yeah, this guy like understands what people like about those things, or at least like what I like about those things.
That's all that matters.
Very cool. This is such good camp, and that's what he did.
I saw Power Rangers.
The new one?
Yes.
Oh. Was it any good?
I regret nothing.
I thought it was really good. I'm sad that they won't be making a sequel.
Well, they said the sequel was in trouble. They didn't say it wouldn't make a sequel, but it's definitely not gonna. It's definitely not gonna be like, they're not gonna make the all 6 movies that they had planned. That I can guarantee. It's gonna be like Xenosaga all over again. Xenosaga all over again.
Oh yeah, there's a Xenosaga anime too. Like there was like a short period of time where there's like a Xenosaga anime, a Devil May Cry anime, and I was like, man, I didn't get to watch this.
There was a Zone of the Ender series.
Oh, I have that on DVD.
Yes.
It's not that good.
It's weird.
It is weird.
What
Well,
was
the
her
Devil May
name?
Cry one was different
Dorothy,
from.
I think.
Yeah. No, Dolores.
Dolores.
Dolores. Yeah.
That one was different though, because like the Xenosaga one, that was like an adaptation of the actual game. The Devil May Cry one was like just a anime that happened to take place in that universe, kind of, because it was not completely related at all. I still watched it though. Yeah, more things should have or animation at all, animated adaptations, because that would be fun. That would be fun.
Yeah, it's funny because like there were some Street Fighter 4 ones when that came out, and you know, none of them have been worse than the live action movie. Just saying. So, if you
This is true.
want to put more out, Capcom, we will eat them up. At least I will, because I bought all that crap.
There used to be a Street Fighter like cartoon back in the day.
Yep.
Around the time that the Mortal Kombat cartoon was
Discipline, justice,
out as well.
commitment.
I used to love watching those. I think they came on
I
USA
did
or
too.
something.
Man,
It was
I
like
know
with
It was
them.
so
USA. And Wing Commander. Oh man, Wing Commander was my jam. I loved Wing Commander. And the theme song, I'm not going to sing it, but I could hum it if I wanted to.
Do it.
Do
it.
Near, 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 near,
Yes.
near, near,
Let it flow
near.
through you. Yes.
Do, 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 do. I really like that show. I should buy it on DVD. Or just watch it on YouTube.
Defenders of the Realm. Yeah.
So, I guess it's your turn to go RPG. What have you been playing?
Yay, I've been playing games.
You don't say.
Here. So let's see, what have I been playing? I've been playing a bit more of Valkyria Revolution, but I haven't been doing story progression stuff. I've been playing like a lot of the free missions to get resources and everything, so I can make clothes and weapons and stuff. But apparently that unlocks like territory skirmishes, so you have to go in and beat a whole bunch of enemies, and then it gives you control of that territory or whatever, and stops the other the bad army from advancing, and then you get special bonuses and stuff from doing that. So I've just been doing stuff like that in that game. It's still kind of easy, so I don't know if it's just because I haven't been really progressing the story, if it gets more difficult later or more mission variety or something. But yeah, since I'm only doing the free missions, it's probably why. But I guess we'll find out when I actually do start doing story progression stuff. But other than that, I started Final Fantasy 12 briefly, because I figured, why not? Because why not? Now, those of you who have listened to the podcast know that this is probably one of my least favorite Final Fantasies, so you're probably wondering, why would I buy the remake if I didn't like it? Because the game came out 11 years ago. I was a lot younger back then. I've never seen Star Wars, so it's maybe
Sense.
so nothing made sense. Nothing ever made sense. So I was like, you know what? Maybe this time it'll be different. I was forced to watch Star Wars. I'm older now, so I'm probably going to be semi-okay with the story. I mean, Vaughn is still the worst, but I mean, hey, we can get around that. There are other characters in the game. So I started, and then once I switched over to Vaughn, I was like, yeah, I don't like you. And then I stopped playing. So we'll see how this playthrough goes, because it's gonna be a trial. I mean, I see that they've tried to do some different stuff with the job classes and stuff with the whole licensing board now, so I'm guessing that is to make the execution a bit better than it was when it initially came out, when it was not executed great and kind of not the best. I mean, the game system is still one of my favorite things to date about the Final Fantasy related, because it's that was a cool idea to have your AI control components or AI controlled team members do stuff based on basically you programming them, and then they can just like adapt to different situations and stuff like that, and that's cool. I mean, you still had to like buy gambits or unlock them and do the stupid stuff, so it's like it still was executed kind of meh, but you know, once again, we'll see how that goes once I actually delve into it a bit more. And yeah, that's my Final Fantasy 12 so far. But I don't know, man. I'm just hoping that I actually end up liking it this time. Otherwise, if I don't, then it just was not a good Final Fantasy. So we'll see how that goes. We shall see how that goes. But like I said, I'm older and wiser now. I'm semi-okay with politics, and I've been forced to see Star Wars, so it's like I kind of have an idea of what's going on now. So this is fine. This is fine. I know all about empires and people getting turned into cyborgs and dark sides, stuff like that, which I'm assuming is everything that's going to happen in this game. If not, then I'm going to be very disappointed. Very disappointed. So if somebody doesn't jump over somebody and get sliced into pieces, well, missed opportunity, guys. Missed opportunity.
I have the high ground.
No, I will still win. And that went horribly for him. Horribly. Absolutely horribly. Spoiler alert, he got turned into a cyborg. Turned out he was some guy's father. I thought it was impossible because he doesn't know how genetics work, I guess, but totally possible. Totally possible. So, yeah. Also should point out, despite the advanced technology, she somehow still died during childbirth because they weren't prepared. So,
it was the will of the Force.
The Force is kind of a jerk.
Like Nintendo.
Like Nintendo. It's like, wait a minute, we have a universe full of telepaths and magic and highly
that
advanced
guy was basically
technology.
dead, and you put him in a tank of green water, and he's
Basically.
okay. But
Like,
he's on the table with the robot, and they're just like, sorry.
Like, I don't know. But it was the will of the Force. I question
All of
your
our
beliefs.
R&D went into bedside manner. That's why it has such a soothing voice.
It's like, I mean, in all fairness, it did make me feel better about all of this, but still.
She was one of the less than 1% of childbirth fatalities this year. In the
It's like, what are the odds? What are the odds?
That's
But
what
don't you love my
man.
voice?
There is balance in the Force, which is why if you're so powerful with it, bad things could happen to you like this.
So what you're saying is magic is bad? Don't. I question this Force you guys believe so much in.
Well, wasn't there a thing like during when the prequels were out, people were saying it's like she didn't die from childbirth, she died from a broken heart.
Well, that's just
I
stupid.
don't remember. I mean, that being said, he did.
I mean,
kinda
unless it
go
was-
after
I
her,
remember the
after her
fans
with
saying
his
something
force,
like
with
that.
his force powers.
I mean, unless it's like literally broken, then that's just stupid. I mean, I guess she could have given up the will to live, but I mean, why would she do that?
oh yeah, that,
her hu-
well, that is.
Her husband was her boyfriend was a cyborg. Like, that's the reason to live. Like, that's actually kind of cool. It's like, you get to live with this now.
But
This is your life.
killed younglings.
But listen to his sexy voice. The sexy voice. R&D at its finest. R&D at its finest. It's like, you guys spend a lot of R&D on voices in this world. What is going on? I mean, people like what they hear. That's what matters.
I mean, to be fair, she was like lying there, incapacitated while they were like lightsaber fighting. So oxygen not coming to the brain because she was like, who knows? You know, was her air pathway open? Was it not? Who knows?
Yeah, but yeah. There's also the whole getting.
Because that's really bad for you.
But they were able to save the twins. It's all that matters.
You'll lose consciousness.
Well, I mean, I guess. Although, yeah, I guess that might have killed her. The whole getting choked out thing might have not have helped matters at all. So yeah, that probably didn't help.
Also, on a volcano planet, probably like carbon in the air and other bad things like methane and other gaseous fumes.
So she's probably like
the
gasping
little air
for
that you're
air.
breathing, yeah, probably the bad stuff, not the good stuff.
Definitely not a broken heart, though. That's just stupid. That's just stupid.
I mean, unless they have like microscopic technology that just like makes it clean when it comes out. I don't know.
Just no, I don't think it works like that. Pretty sure it doesn't work like that. I mean, you would think with all their advanced technology, it would work like that. It, in fact, did not work like that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you have a point. You know, or he would be like, whatever, man. I don't care if I don't have the high ground because I could be out here forever if you do something to mortally wound me because we have the technology.
We can rebuild him.
Completely fine.
We can give him a sexy voice. Like, I don't. We really got to work on this, guys. Really got to work on this. It's like, but think about the sexy voice. Like, you can't fix his skin?
Not
Sexy
put in the
voice.
sexy voice? Oh, we're still gonna do it. Just
So, about his skin. Yeah, we don't have the technology for that.
just cover it up.
But boy, his voice, whew, it's gonna be amazing. So, yes. Good old Star Wars universe. And all the fun plot holes.
So, middle segment? Eh?
I-
So now I got two questions then. What is this one called? Tropico Ask Questions?
No, it has to be something catchier than that.
I forgot
You
what
have
it's
to
called.
You have to say it in a sexy voice.
You don't know.
We're all in on this now.
I think it was like
We're all in
Tropical
on
Weekly.
this.
Oh, it was like question
Wow.
time. It was question time with the
Go
Tropical or
ask
something.
questions.
That was not sexy tropical. Just saying. Or I didn't. Or that didn't sound sexy to me.
Or he wasn't aroused by it.
Tekken does not approve of this.
I think that's good.
Like, this is how I won my wife. What are you talking about? Yeah. Yeah, about that.
No, I meant the Tekken was not aroused by this part. It's like, why would I want that?
The real question is, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Aimless after dark.
All right. Yeah. So we just had two massive sales on massive game platforms, and there was like, I think Steam sales now they don't. Do they have a daily thing anymore?
They
Or
probably
do.
do.
Just do everything at the same time.
Oh wait, no. On their sales like the
Am I
summer sale,
gone?
they don't. It's just the like everything's discounted. Tropical. Tropical. Can you hear me? Tropical.
Oh no, we semi-lost him.
Oh, it occurred to me. Am I gone?
You're here.
I can hear you.
Just like super
Hello?
chopped though.
Yeah, we can
Am
hear
I
you.
gone?
We can. I will type
No. Hello.
You can't hear us, Tropical?
Am I hearing now?
You're just a
Wait,
bit choppy.
can you hear us?
Well, what? I can hear you. I my upload is stupid now.
Oh, that's weird.
Is it normal now?
Not exactly.
Maybe? No?
No.
No. Should I join? Should I rejoin?
You can try.
Maybe?
I guess.
I'm gonna try rejoining.
Did he say he's gonna try rejoining? Okay.
Yes.
I thought I misheard him for a second. So, yeah. Middle segment where Tropical asks us stuff, or Tropical asks whatever. I forgot what it was called. You know.
Aimless after dark.
I don't write these down anymore. We just wing it. It's
We
way
really
better
do.
that way.
Really do.
Ah. Something question something.
It has to be something catchier than that. Something with a
Why
lot of
rejoin?
T's in it. So it's like tropical teases
But
something.
It's not a tease. It's a question.
That's what questions are. They're teases.
Yeah. Right. Okay, Tropical, we can hear you. Are you back?
I rejoined.
Yeah, you rejoined.
Yes.
Okay. And it
Do
sounds
it in your sexy voice. Too invested to not do it, Tropical. Too much R&D.
I don't know what to do.
When R&D goes wrong.
Indeed.
Just imagine how would Tekken do it, and then do that. You know.
Why?
Ask
Why
the
would-
question sexily.
That's not. He said sexy, not creepy. What are you doing? What's happening right now?
Even if your sexily sounds a bit creepy.
Just a touch.
Give her that old Tekken touch, yeah.
Oh, this is getting worse. Escalating. Ah. I don't think you know what sexy is.
Don't ever know hit him. It works every time. Not really, because I've never done it, but hey. We can all just play pretend and it'll all work out.
This has gotten worse. Or it has gotten better.
Oh.
So yeah.
I can't help it if I whisper it sounds creepy, okay? I thought, if you lean over and you whisper, someone might like that. But I can't help it if it comes
That's
out
called being
sounding
creepy,
the opposite.
Tekken. That's exactly what being creepy is. Basically.
But when you're down by the fire RPG and you're trying to not be too loud because you don't want to break the mood. You just gotta let out that nice whisper like this, yeah.
I think
it's the yeah.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, I think it's the add-ons that make it worse. That's what it is. It's like you'll probably be fine, except for when you have to start adding random grunts, and yeahs, and stuff. It's like what?
Me.
It's like oh, no, sorry. I want to say like
That was me. Oh, stop doing that.
like don't you love it? Yeah. Like I don't approve of this.
Push. Oh yeah. There you go. Oh yeah. I have yet to try that though, but I really want to try it. But it's like I will never try it because it's like in my brain. It's like take it. That's clearly crossing the line. Anybody that hears bougie whispered in their ear is probably just gonna smack you in the face. So
Someone might find it sexy.
unless you ask first, which is probably the way to do it, to be like, "Can I bougie you?" And I'm like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "Bougie."
I don't know. It's like,
98% chance they'll
what's
say
that?
no, because it's like, what the F is that, Tekken? You are some weird creeper asking some question to me like that. Now get the F away from me before I shoot you.
It's like, what does that even mean?
Now I want to do it. Like, just go around town, make YouTube video series. So, can I bougie you?
Like we'll see the news stories like guy taken into custody for trying to quote unquote bougie you. People were baffled as to what that actually meant. Like,
But
well,
like bad news.
it's like I was just trying to be sexy. I was just trying to be sexy.
Have you ever been bougie before? Would you like to be? I'm still trying to perfect my craft on it. Oh.
Gosh.
All right. Gather myself. Yeah. So, first question: have we reached the point of two? Or no, that is not the question. The question is, in the early, this is not hypothetical, but I'm assuming in the early days of movies, there were people who said that they love movies and meant that they like watched everything. And gaming had that too, right? But nowadays, like, if someone says they love movies, you don't assume that they love all movies. You assume that they love certain
Genre.
types of movies. Have we crossed into that point in games? Is the question.
I'd say for the most part, I like for me, I mean, just personally speaking, that's how I am. So it's like it's hard for me to like imagine someone that's like, I like all of the games because it's like you like sports games too, or like you like tower defense. I mean, well, in my brain, I'm like going through all the crap I hate. So it's like, or don't like, I should say. And so
Tower
it's like,
defense, road like football games.
it's
That
like,
sounds
you like,
awful.
like all those terrible games I don't like. You and you like the stuff I do. You're weird. Get away from me. I don't want to be your friend. Ugh. You're one of those people, like all the things. Ugh, who does that?
When did we hit that point? What happened?
Life
I would
happened.
say
We
mobile
grew up.
landfill games polluted
Mobile
the ocean
landfill
of games, and they're like, hey, you guys like, swiping on your phone and just with your finger and just like doing stuff, and then Angry Birds, wee, flinging a bird, and it's like, oh, look how fun this is, and then you play it, and you're like, this is what all the rage is about. You mobile serfs are so below us console peasants. Oh, you're repulsive in this mobile landfill filth you play with. Oh, disgusting. Candy Crush. Oh, Angry Birds. Oh, all this other stuff on the phone. Oh.
Wait, so from your point of view, you think that we arrived at the point of whatever, it has no name, when when games started to exist that were really popular but were objectively terrible?
I wouldn't say they're popular but objectively terrible. It's just like the critical mass of like the phone stuff, because it is such a like low bar, and like the quality there is just like, in my opinion, just like not non-existent, but it's just so like outside the norm that like if you're going through the Play Store and like looking for a hidden gem, have fun digging through all the trash you got to go through to find it, because probably not a lot there. And there's a lot of people that, or yeah, there might be a lot of people out there. I mean, people are making money off of it, so there must be. They're just like going through there and be like, oh man, this game's awesome. Oh, this game's fun, or oh, this game's $1, or whatever. Oh, it's so fun, haha, for like 5 minutes, and then they're. I guess it's like that Wii Sports effect where it's like, it's like a ooh shiny, but then there's like not a lot of depth or enjoyment or fulfillment. I see myself getting out of it after a long amount of time, and like it's just not for me, and I move on. And I'm like, well, that's not for me. So, but there's so many other people, millions and millions, just eating it up. Like, oh, look at this game, it's so great. Oh, yeah, it's just a nice little time waster thingy I do on my phone. Oh, har. Swipe with my finger. Oh.
So is it a critical mass of like mainstream content, basically? Or like casual content?
Yes, because like the whole like Nintendo Blue Ocean approach, where it's like everybody, we throw our giant net out and get all of them. But the bar to entry is so low. It's like the experience that you're having with that content, like doesn't even come close to like, in my opinion, the AAA top tier thing was like Horizon Zero Dawn or Nier Automata or Mass Effect Andromeda or other amazing games that have come out this year. They're like, oh man, I could just like spend over 40 hours with these games and have an experience, and it's so fun and fulfilling, and I could come back and do it again. Especially when they add New Game Plus. Yes, thank you, Horizon, you're the best. Ah.
That was really cool.
Or the live services games, even though that they will steal your soul and make you hate yourself like Destiny. It's like, oh well, I'll just log in today and see what they added. Oh, okay, well, I'll just play for however long or until I have time, and then come back another time and like, oh, they add so much stuff. And like, if I'm just a casual user, it's like, oh, they just add stuff all the time because I don't play it every day like Tegan and hate myself. So I can just be eternally entertained in these live service games, and they'll always have something for me to come back to if I'm just scratching the surface, because I don't like to go deeper than the surface and break my fingernails. So yeah.
Embrace eternity.
RPG, do you think we have crossed over?
To the dark
games
side?
Games have crossed over that barrier where it no longer makes sense to say, oh yes, I am a gamer, meaning I love all games.
I think as we come across more and more genres, or they become more defined and more plentiful over the years, then yes, we've kind of crossed that. But I mean, I think it happened before the whole mobile thing happened.
When? So you think it was earlier?
Yeah, I think once the Great Console War started is when it started to happen.
Which one was that?
The early one?
Genesis?
No, after that. I think like around like the PlayStation era, once like Microsoft threw their hat into the ring and people started like certain consoles were getting like certain genres more than others, and it started to like continue to go that route and everything, and then it became more people defining themselves as gamers, even but at the same time they didn't necessarily play everything. It's just like based on the amounts, I guess, that they were playing, maybe is how that goes, or something, possibly, maybe, stuff and things. Or if they just consume a lot of a certain genre or something, they consider themselves gamers because they actually played a bunch of these games, but not necessarily all of the games. Maybe, somewhat, possibly.
Do you think my assumption is incorrect? Like, for me, it feels like there was a point in games where people were like, I think they meant that they liked all games, or maybe that never existed.
I don't think maybe it never did, and you're just cuckoo banana pants.
Like they meant it that they liked all games, but actually they didn't. I think that it was kind of like that for a while. Like every time people would, you see the argument a lot less now, but like before it would be like, oh, if you don't play a certain console, and it was always like in relation to consoles, it was like, you are not a true gamer. True gamers play everything. And I mean, deep down, I think everyone knows, like, well, that's not true.
Because it's simply not possible. Unless you're rich and have infinite time.
But it did feel like I am one of those people who plays everything. It's like, yes, even sports games. And it seemed like there was a lot of people like that. But then, yeah, like at some point, there's just like there's too many now. For me, it happened really recently. I think it's like, yeah, now we've reached the point where games they're very different. There's like games that are very different from each other, and it's not just like, oh, there's a few strange games, and then most of them are just normal, whatever that is. It's like there's a lot of games about anything you can think of.
Yeah, I think like maybe you could also say like it happened like right after like the giant indie explosion, as far as what was like the first big indie game, like Braid and Limbo and stuff like that. because they're just so like outside the box. And then like the traditional air quote I play everything game person might not be like I don't want to play that or whatever. So or just find it off-putting. Like I don't want to play Journey. It's you don't get to shoot anything or whatever.
And ones who would want to play it.
Why wouldn't you want to play Journey? It's all about alien scarf monsters and stuff. It's like everyone would be into it. Everyone. It's like saying you wouldn't like Horizon because robot dinosaurs. What's wrong with you?
During the same era as the Xbox 360 dude bros, stuff like, oh man, I'm gonna play some Gears and Halo and Call of Duty and just shoot stuff. Oh yeah. Oh.
Now say it in your sexy voice.
I'm just gonna play some
just add
Halo and Call of Duty and Gears and all those shooty things in the face stuff.
And it sounds extra inappropriate because he said shooting in the face. Nice.
Just whisper it and add yeah at the end.
Whatever.
All right, that's one.
Actually, that was like a marketing thing for like a while in like the 360 PS3 era, where they had like core and casual games, and like they had like the whole segregation of like the type of like, game that they're trying to or person that they're trying to cater to. Of like, oh, well, this is a core game, or this is for casual fans. It's like even within like the industry, there were separating like the market as far as like who's this for or who would like this game. And it's like, oh, well, not everybody. So yeah, I guess like the Wii, like I said, I mean. I would put like the mobile and phone crap with like the Wii explosion and like the like close to the same time, so it's like whatever, man. But like after the Wii, dude, just I mean that was the whole like weird thing though. Like the Wii pulled everybody in, but not everybody was like into everything. So it was like, oh well, who's gonna like this thing? But you had like the weird thing of like these AAA games that were like millions of dollars of production that like would just not be selling as much as these casual shovelware crap that like, oh, I just want to play this fun thing on my Wii and flail around. Woo, we play, selling millions of copies. Woo, yeah. Stuff like that. It was a weird time. Or Cookie Mama.
So
Not
now
the same
it's
thing about
just
Cookie
like-
Mama, but like all the DS stuff of like, oh, this is completely outside the box of all the stuff that like has come before it. But it's not a bad game. It's just not for me. It's just not for you. So, sorry, all you people that don't like this, but we're here to stay.
Who wouldn't like Cookie Mama?
I was just using an example RPG. Gosh, because Nintendo went all weird. Okay, not weird, but like they did that thing where they're doing stuff and it was all different. And it's like, oh, Nintendo. It's like the Apple of the gaming industry, or the Disney, because they've got all this stuff that's like so unique, but then it's different and out there and
Disney.
not comparable to all their competitors.
Cool. So that's one question. My other question today, and this got brought up earlier, so that's why I thought of it. Why do adaptations go wrong all the time?
Oh, dude, let me tell you, because this one bakes my noodle quite a effing bit. It's like, okay, all you have to do is take the source material and stay true to the source material. You don't have to be like, oh, well, we wanted to do this thing where, well, actually, we did say whitewashing is bad, but it's at the end when you find out that inside of this white person is an Asian person, and isn't whitewashing so bad? Oh, we made this commentary, but we didn't stay true to the material.
Literal whitewashing.
It was literal whitewashing, yes. Isn't that so deep? But and then the rest of our
super meta.
the rest of our interpretation, we may have missed the mark. We may have put some things in, not some things in. But hey, we just tried to stay true to that vision and deliver this experience. And what can I say? That's what we did. Busho, busho, busho.
What the hell?
I mean, we'll take some from the movie and some from the series, even though they're not the same. standalone complex, Ghost in the Shell. Who cares if it's not the same? We'll put it all in because we can, and we want to make this thing, and we're doing it. Busha, busha, busha.
Oh my.
I'm trying to think of what other stuff was up. Oh, Street Fighter, dude. What the F, man? Like, seriously. I mean, okay. I mean, not to beat a dead horse, but I mean, come on. When Chai's just some dude that's, yeah, whatever, man. Just like Shadow Loop forces, and they're fighting some fight with guns, but they don't use guns in the game. They fight. It's a tournament. What are you doing?
Did
No.
you use fights?
I mean, I guess in that regard, like, you know, good adaptation, I would say, is Mortal Kombat. 'Cause it's like, you know, got the whole weird thing going on of like, oh, there's a tournament in Outrealm. Oh, there's fighter dudes, and they're actually fighting, and it's a tournament, because that's what Mortal Kombat does. And they got it right. Unlike Street Fighter, where it's like, oh, there's all these people from this peacekeeping force in this country, Shadowloo, and Bison's this dictator that took over this country, trying to take over the world or
I'm
something.
sure he's nice.
Not exactly. Yeah, it's like, okay. Let's backtrack on what I was saying. Basically, the source material is like story, characters, setting, all that stuff that's like important of like what makes the thing of the thing. Like you know, super flashy stuff and like, oh man, over the top. Don't make it not super flashy and over the top. If it's not that way, or if it's like grounded in reality, make it grounded in reality. Don't make it be like, oh, I'm Hitman, but I could kick my gun up in the air and grab it and shoot like 5 dudes at the same time because I'm Agent 47, but that's not what Agent 47 does, so you're missing the point, dude. So it's like, you know, just stick to the source material, and then the story, the characters, and setting is like, don't F it up, and don't make it different, and don't change it, because, I mean, you can do those things, but you're taking a risk when you do it, and then fans probably won't like it, like all these other ones that we just called out, and then...
I think it also kind of like the reverse as well, though. It's like not just making it super flashy, but some want it to be too grounded because they're like, well, since we're doing a live action adaptation, it obviously has to be like somewhat realistic because there's people, right? But it's like, well, it's a video game, so the whole point is that it's not super realistic and stuff, and that's why like stuff like Scott Pilgrim versus the World worked for what it was, because it's like it didn't care about the fact that it was live action. It was still going to be wacky and have people burst into coins and all kinds of nonsense and still be totally cool with it, and everybody's like around like, yep, this happens in real life, so deal with it.
Or if you do want to like do your own thingy on interpretation, you know, just do like Resident Evil and make it like its own side thing and not like too much tied to the core franchise that you're trying to interpret, and be like, oh, we can borrow some characters, some characters, some enemies, whatever locations. But then like after a while, you're like, oh well, we're gonna do our own thing after the first 2 movies because that was cool, but let's do this whole weird thing of like, the Earth has been completely extinct, and Alice is doing her own thing because Alice is her own character that we've made in this universe. It works, and we're going with it, and that's how that's our story. And we're sticking to it. We just go and we just do it. Oh, I actually bought Final Chapter. I haven't watched it yet on Blu-ray, so I still have yet to see how it ends. So, but you also was like not that great. So
okay, it's gonna be disappointing because it's not video gamey.
But man, yeah, they did do some stuff where it was like the whole laser room thing. And then the fight with Wesker, and like, oh yeah, they did some cool stuff. Where it's like, oh yeah, and then like the game's borrowed from it, so it's like kind of weird, neat
that was the thing. Cause, and then like the one before, then they had boss fights and everything too. It was like really cool. And then they went and did the final chapter, and I was like, this is not what I came here for. Because now you made it too grounded, and I was like, this is not what I wanted. I'm disappointed now.
So yeah. Well, the question is though, like, why do you think it happens? I mean, surely it's easier to just take the source material
because it's all there for you
and just like change the bits that can't possibly work. Why do you think that they're always like? It seems like they go in and it's like, yeah, this is recognizable, but it's a game, so obviously none of it works. So we'll just have to rewrite everything. Like, are you sure? Like, did you even look at it?
Actually, that's a good point, Topical. I think.
Why do you think that happens?
I think one of the reasons it might happen is because they like know that the fans of the game and the source material like be like, okay, we'll go see this, but then they want to make it for a broader audience, and then like when they do that, they start to
some things get kind of diluted in the process because money, dear boy, money.
Yeah, then you have studio interference, and they're like, hey, dudes, we saw this first draft or this rough edit. could you maybe not do this or do this more, blah blah blah, and then
There's
like
way
you
too
know,
many video game elements in your video game movie.
yeah.
What's going on over here? What are you doing?
That's an interesting thing. But surely,
Because I mean,
like,
even
broad audiences like good things. Like,
I
is
mean, I
it
think
just everyone who's made a video game movie was a bad movie maker?
I don't think
I
that's
just
the case.
I think they were just a poor judge of the. I mean, because I feel like most of the people that do make it, they just do it because they're like, oh, this video game, it's super popular, so I should just do an adaptation despite the fact I've never played it before, and it's like, oh, I'll read a couple of like notes on the internet about like the series, but I mean, who needs to know about the series to do this? And then it kind of gets generic-fied, and then they kind of just have light elements of it, but then you end up with something that's not true to the source material. And then once again, they want to make sure they make it as broad as possible because money, and then you end up with things like that Monster Hunter movie that's going to come out and probably be awful because I already read the synopsis of what they're trying to do, and I was like, yeah, this isn't Monster Hunter. This isn't Monster Hunter at all. So I can already see that that's probably not going to go well. But it's like I think people, they just have a bad habit of needing to do certain things to the properties that they don't really need to do because, like you said, it's like it's already there for them. Like, what are you doing?
It could also be that adapting it to another medium, since it's like you're trying to get it like 120 minutes, like you can't just fit all of like some games like just are not going to fit like all the stuff that you want to put in there, or like you're trying to do if you're depending on like the story you're trying to tell and like all the other stuff like the characters and setting that you want to use from the source material. Like maybe you just like can't use the scenario that's going to work the best for the game, so you have to like change it or edit it in some way to fit to the adaptation to film. And then there's stuff that's like lost in translation or lost in the process that makes it less genuine and less authentic to the source material that it's based off of, so it just doesn't come across as good as it could have. Just like the process of doing that adaptation, it loses part of what it is in that process as well, in the creative process of like doing that adaptation.
Earlier, you said something about like. Well, despite how, I don't know what the word is. Like, you just assume that fans will go see it no matter what.
Yes.
You were talking about how it's like game fans. Do you think everyone assumes that what game fans like is not what broad audience like? What a broad audience would like?
That is definitely
well, probably
true.
because it's like gaming is. I mean, I guess to the outside world is kind of a niche market because most people they always seem so like before a lot of people, I guess, like, I don't know if it's still like a thing, but like a lot of people are like kind of like secretive about the fact that they're gamers or whatever. So it's like they're like in the closet about being a gamer, and then so it's like for them to like, ooh, it's dirty to like video games, and it's like you can't like these things. And it's just like, indeed. So it's just like I feel like, I mean, in that regard, since a lot of people don't play them because they all have this idea of like video games are for kids or they're just not cool kind of thing. So it's like people don't really like get it unless you like actually play them. So it's just one of those things where I think in that regards, that's why they like kind of make them more quote unquote approachable for audiences, despite the fact that if people are actually familiar with it, they'll be like, huh, this is actually pretty interesting stuff. Because I mean, video games tell stories and they bring you to other worlds, and like you learn things sometimes. It's like it's a lot of stuff going on in video games. It's not just you like running around and doing nonsensical stuff, or just like, well, I mean, some games are, but like for the most part, there is other stuff going on.
Yeah, they could just be like picking the low-hanging fruit of being like, oh, we're gonna use these scantily clad ladies and have a lot of gunfights and explosions and action sequences. When it's like, whoa, Metal Solid, dude, like there's way more than that you know, one time when Eve was like, "Woo, look at me in my motor suit costume, woo!" and all the people.
She did-
I mean, you
she
don't have
did
to kill
say that.
people. You can just sneak past them. Okay, gosh, person.
Well, not
that's
if you're
in
me.
charge.
I mean,
Unless you're RPG. And then, you know, there's all those layers of like the political intrigue and drama and historical stuff going on. Okay, you can't just be like, oh, explosions, shootouts, ladies, ooh, weird genetic cloning experiments. Oh, and just missing all the point of like, we're not guns or whatever. Gray Fox says at the end of Microsoft one of like, we're not tools of the governments. We're whatever. That's such a great quote. I can't think of it right now. Oh,
we're
gotta look it up.
sons of the Patriots.
No, it's
Title
He's
drop.
like, we're not tools of. I'll look it up. Whatever.
We're Metal Gear Solid.
That's not what he says.
It's like,
either.
oh, that's what that means. Okay.
Yeah. Oh man, that would be like the worst ever if like they made a Metal Gear Solid movie and then like the Metal Gear like appears and it's like not even a Metal Gear. It's just like a dude in a mech suit and he's like, "This is my Metal Gear." And it's like, "No, you completely messed up on." It just
Like
I
it
am
turns out
Metal
we were
Gear
all the
Solid.
Metal Gear
it doesn't
Solid.
even shoot a nuclear thingy.
We were all the Metal Gear Solid the whole time. Ah, I see. Everyone standing ovation. It's like,
So, do you think that that is like an incorrect assumption? Like people just assume that games are a niche thing. So obviously, whatever the source material is, it's not suitable for a general audience.
Possibly.
I think so.
It's very sad.
Like I said, I think it's because most people don't really understand what video games are or how they work. They just assume that it's just this thing where kids just play stuff and it's mindless, but it's in fact not. And I think if more people knew, then it probably wouldn't be like it is now. It's like you'd actually have people appreciating the medium and not just like, this is dumb. You don't do anything except go from point A to point B and shoot stuff? Oh, who does that? Who wants to do that? It's like, well, Call of Duty does, but not every game is like that. It's like there's so many different genres. It's just like movies. There's different genres and things out there, and people don't have to hide the fact that they like to watch movies. So it's like, it's just a weird...
But, well, in the case of adaptations, though, is that like whose fault is that? Is it the audiences?
Adapters.
It's
The adapters. 'Cause they're assuming
that
Yeah.
it is too niche for anyone except
Yes.
the fans.
They're assuming that like not enough people
Because
like
anyways,
even
who cares
though
about them?
even though people like even though the series might be popular, they're like not enough people think the series is good enough where it's like it would make me billions of monies. So they have to change a few things to make it more approachable, even if that requires whitewashing a bunch of characters, Prince of Persia. But it's like you have to just kind of have to accept it. So
Do you think they did that on purpose, though? I
think they
feel
chose.
like
I think it
just
chose
don't
his acting.
edit. Yeah.
But I mean, part of it is though. I feel like if they actually put in the effort to find something, probably be. I think it just requires some research, is what it is. But the adapters want to take the easy way out. So it's like, well, it's like, yeah, I could actually spend like hours upon hours and playing these games and learning the lore and learning about the universe and then doing some research and then actually going out and finding actors that would like fit these roles perfectly and look the part and everything. But then it's just like, or I could just find who's popular at the moment, throw on some suntan lotion and call it a day. Or I could pretend to be meta and say it was about washing the whole time because there's an Asian woman inside this white woman's body because it's like whitewashing Inception or some nonsense. I don't know. Weirdness, but yeah, I think it just requires like some like knowledge on their parts. It's like people are just ignorant of the media, so they just make their assumptions and kind of just go off of that. And then sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So it's like yes, sometimes you do get lucky, and you get things like Resident Evil, where it just happened to be like entertaining because it was ridiculous, and then people just are just watching it for the stupid fun. But then you have other things like the Blood Rain movies, which are awful, and it's just like I don't understand why they were even made. And then it's just like you kind of have to. I guess it kind of depends. I think it just kind of depends because some things just turn out to be the movies in name only, and then some actually are like attempts to try, but then I guess they didn't research enough, and they're just like, I kind of got a general idea of what this is supposed to be like, so I could just add a few explosions here and there, make some other people love it, and then yeah, billions of monies, guys, billions of monies.
Or the like creative team that made like the first one that's really good doesn't stick around for like these subsequent versions, and it's like, oh, Silent Hill, what happened? The first one was like you had the mist, you had the city that was there, and the accidents and stuff.
Walker's amazing.
And it's like, oh,
And then
yeah,
the second one happened,
yeah.
and it was not.
Yeah,
It was not amazing at all.
You had a pyramid head rip someone's skin off their entire skeleton. That was awesome. And the weird nurses in that creepy part. That was cool. But then the second movie, what the hell?
Yeah, it just kind of just evolved. It's just like, huh, you did so well, and then you didn't. So,
All right. So, as a bonus side topic of this, which one is the best adaptation, and which one is the worst?
Well, I haven't seen Castlevania yet, so I'll put an asterisk there as like have not watched yet, but
You
people
think
say it's
Castlevania
awesome.
maybe is the best one?
I don't know. I think the first two Resident Evil movies are really good. Silent Hill is really good. Mortal Kombat. I really like both of the Mortal Kombat movies. The first one is like really good. The second one, people are like kind of torn on, but I like both of them just because it's like truthful to the source material as far as like the realms, the Elder Gods, Raiden, all the fighting.
although they didn't have enough, I think because it was like the rating kind of kind of kidded it down a little bit, because it's like Mortal Kombat, you do expect a bit more blood and stuff when you're playing, because there weren't really like any there weren't like any real fatalities in the Mortal Kombat sense. But I mean, once again, that's kind of like if they would have made it rated R, they probably would have narrowed their market like considerably. So they had to not do that.
I would say
But,
those are probably my top three because I haven't seen a lot. Because I think after seeing so many bad ones, or just after so many of them are not as good, it's like I stopped watching them. Because I haven't even seen. Well, I haven't. Yeah, if there's like any like the Hitman ones I haven't seen. I saw Prince of Persia on Netflix. It was okay, but could have been better.
I've only seen one of the Hitmans, and I think it was the first one, not the rebooted one. So I don't know if that one's any good. But
Second one was better, but still does not remind me of Hitman the games.
So basically, it could just been any action movie and been
Kinda. With a bald guy,
just
shadowy
bald.
past, and a barcode.
Oh yeah, I didn't see
So
Assassin's
basic-
Creed either, so I didn't see that one.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen Assassin's Creed. So.
Or
Oh,
Need for
that one's
Speed.
okay too. Need for Speed, I mean, compared to the games, yeah, it was pretty good.
I tried watching it, but I never finished it. So.
I mean, it was essentially the run.
Oh, I never
So
played that one. Sorry, I only played early Need for Speed games.
that appears faithful.
I would like to see more animated adaptations. That's just me though, because I'm just that's just like across the board. I think it's just a better way to do things as opposed to chasing the live action fetishized. Oh, it looks so cool in live action. Oh, it's costumes and people, whatever. It's just whatever. Have fun with that. Chasing that.
Also, I guess you could do a lot more with animated adaptations too, because it's like special effects kind of are easier, I guess. So, I mean, I think it's probably easier in that regards. Because like if you had to like adapt something that's like very special effects heavy, then it's like, well, this is going to cost a lot of money to make. So we really have to make it wider audience appeal to make sure we get all this back. Because yeah.
I do kind of like how like Need for Speed and Assassin's Creed did this, where they had already decided to do live action, and then they decided to do like stunts and stuff for real. Because like I think that's one reason why you wouldn't want animated adaptations because like the sources are animated. So it's like, would you rather watch this thing or just play like a new game or like another game in the series or something like that?
I guess it would depend because, like I said, I've never played any Castlevania games, so it's like for me, I was able to just watch this and kind of just go from there. But
That's true.
because they're not really like the type of games I like to play. So for stuff like that, it's like I might be interested in the universe itself, but I don't necessarily like the genre of game that they are. So stuff like that works for people like me. It was like, even though the games are animated, but the anime I could just watch and then I don't have to actually play the games. So
RPG, which one do you think is the best and the worst?
Hmm.
I actually own all the Resident Evil movies on Blu-ray or DVD.
Me too.
I did like.
Not the
I mean, I
CG
like.
animated ones though, because those are weird.
I heard those.
I don't-
were great.
I have almost all of those. I saw the last one recently. I thought it was okay. Like, people didn't like it, but I thought it was...
It wasn't
bad.
that it was bad. It just was. It was just disappointing.
Oh, not the final chapter. The
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 animated
CG
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen those. At least I don't think I have. Possibly.
Any of them?
I don't think I've seen. I'm pretty sure I haven't, because like the only animated ones I've seen from any of the survival horror ones was the Dead Space one.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
I don't think
forgot
I
about
have.
that one.
I don't think I've seen.
That one was like a prequel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But that was made by the people who made the game. Sort of.
Sort of. But yeah, I did. I mean, I liked the Resident Evil series, but I mean, it wasn't like
Are
super
they good
faithful. Like after,
adaptations?
it's like after like Tech was saying, after the first two, it kind of just like, yeah, we're gonna do our own thing. So it's like it's not really like faithful. I mean, the one before the last one was semi-faithful in the sense of how it was structured, but still. But yeah, like the first two they're good, and Silent Hill was good as well. The second Silent Hill was probably one of the worst ones, definitely. So
It was bad.
it was like on the opposite ends of the spectrum for that. It's like you have a good one,
So
and then you
bad
have
that I blocked most of it out. Like, I don't remember what happens in that movie.
It's true. It's like I only remember like a few bits and pieces. Like I remember the terribly choreographed fight with the two, I guess, like super minion peoples. But yeah, it was like very not good. It was very not good at
I
all.
only remember like they were at a motel or something on the side of the road, and then they went to the Rust World.
They went there from the motel?
I think they were in the motel, and then like something happened.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah,
So-
that's like the only part I remember. And someone told me like, "Well, that's the guy from Game of Thrones." I was like, "Oh yeah, that is him."
Because I do remember them being in the motel, but I don't remember them going to the restaurant from there. So I don't, I meant like directly from there, I should say. Like, well, they were in there, so I don't know. But yeah, it was not good. It was not good at all. So that was one of those ones you had to like force yourself to get through.
Do you think that was worse than Blood Rain?
Which Blood Rain? Because they were all pretty
Oh
awful.
my gosh, I could not. I haven't seen any of them except the first one, and I
There was like
"What is
I-
this?"
I saw the first one. I think it was the third one that had to do with like the Nazis or something. Oh wait, no. Was that might have been the first one?
Were there 3?
I think there was more than that actually, because there was one. Okay, I saw one that was like. I saw one, and then I saw another one that was like in the Wild West or something, which was weird. So I was like, I don't think this is faithful to this series at all. But so I was like, yeah. But they were all, the ones I saw were pretty bad though, because the acting was terrible, the effects were terrible.
Yeah.
It's like it was just not good.
That guy, like, I don't remember his name at all. He made so many of them.
Uvable.
Surely all of those are at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
Probably yes.
Yeah, 'cause he's made
Oh.
Far Cry, House of the
There's a
Dead.
Far Cry movie?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Was it Guy Pearce? Was he in Far Cry?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. That one
Postal.
survival horror. I can't think of it now. With the fire from 360 generation. It was episodic. It was one of
It's
the
a
first, it
fire.
was one of the first
Ah.
survival horror games. I can't think of it. Ah,
On the 360?
no, just like ever. It was
Alone in the Dark?
yes, that one. That one as well.
Oh wait, that was a video game movie, wasn't it? Oh my gosh, I didn't even remember that. That movie was terrible too. But yes, I completely forgot about that.
There was one, I think it was called In the Name of the King. It was also a video game.
Dungeon Siege.
Yeah.
So many
House of the Dead was also one that he made. He made a House of the Dead movie, which was the light gun game.
Which is sad that you can even screw that up. It's like, I mean, you basically, I mean, the basis is just you shooting up zombies. Like, you really could have like screwed it up.
Did you see? They were on Crackle. They made 2 Dead Rising movies
Dead Rising.
that were actually kind of decent. I think they're still up there. They're free to watch on Crackle.
I did not.
I did not know, because I have not seen them.
And then I remember Kenji Inafune made his own Dead Rising movie. Did you see that one?
I did not.
It was like there was like a kid in a wheelchair in it.
Were these live action or animated?
Yeah, it was a live action one.
Nope.
I have not.
Oh man. Wow. Now that I'm thinking about it, there's been a lot of adaptations of games into movies.
It's true. Some of them are so unfaithful that you don't even know that they're
Yeah.
movies.
I didn't know Dungeon Siege. Just like, oh, these are games too. Like, oh my gosh.
Because I think I saw Alone in the Dark because I thought it was just like a horror movie.
wow,
But yeah, that one is supposed to be
it's
like
it's like funny that we completely forgot about the Tomb Raider movies.
Oh, right.
Angelina Jolie.
Really early.
That,
Well, like, what did you think of those?
I liked
they
them.
were okay. Yeah.
they weren't bad for what they were. Because I mean, at least they were semi-faithful.
Yeah, the first one.
Because
I
she
remember
did
seeing
Raid
it, and I
Tombs.
liked it. The second one, I think I saw it on TV, but I don't think I saw the whole thing. So I saw I caught it like partway through, but I did think it was like not bad. So yeah, I did enjoy it.
I keep getting them confused though, because I don't remember which one it's. Because like I know there was one with the triangles
The
that they had
first one
together.
is like the
but
one
then-
where she like sees her dad because she gets the triangles. and
Yeah.
goes back in time or something weird.
The first
and-
one's with her father.
Yeah. The second one's in Africa.
Because I can
Because
I can never remember what the second one. Because like I know I saw it, but I can never remember what happened. Like
The
I
second
don't.
one, like they go to like China, and there's the fight scenes in like old Chinese-looking towns. And there's like jumping off a waterfall, and there's the guy from. I think it was the guy who was King Leonidas in 300. Wasn't it?
Gerard Butler.
Gerard
Yeah.
Butler? Yeah.
Pretty sure. Yeah, because I remember him being in one of them, but like I said, I can't never remember which one is which. So I'm just. It's like they all blend together. They all blend together.
Did she have like the sidekick or like the tech guy and the butler in the original games? Do you know?
I don't think.
I think she had the butler. I
She had a
don't
butler,
remember
yeah.
this
Not a sidekick.
Okay.
sidekick.
Yeah, or not sidekick, like Zip from. I know in later games she did have that duo. When Crystal Dynamics made their Tomb Raider games.
But it's probably because of the movies.
Yeah,
possibly.
maybe.
Because I remember she had a butler, but I don't remember her ever having like the tech thing until.
Were those before or after the Mortal Kombat movies?
Those might
Those I'm pretty sure those are after.
Yeah, they're
after.
I'm pretty sure those are after.
Well, is there a trajectory of getting better and better video game movies? You think like were the earliest ones the worst, and then they're just better now, or are there like I'm trying to think of like recent terrible ones.
The effects are better now. That's about it's kind of like they've kind of been all over the place since the inception of them, because it's like you've had your good for what they were early on, and then it's like you had some good ones now, but it's like you've also had some bad ones now.
Yeah,
and
it's not like it's
some
like
before
golden
then,
age of superhero movies where it's like you see ones getting made and you're like, oh man, I can't wait to see that because it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the quality is just not there consistently.
What was a bad recent one?
Well, I haven't seen any of the recent ones.
Which one have you stayed away from?
All of them after
recently.
Well, I haven't. Dude, it's been a while. Tropical okay, because I'd say if it's not a Resident Evil movie, I haven't seen it, pretty much. So the Hitman stuff. I mean, Assassin's Creed. I mean, not Assassin's Creed, but Prince of Persia is probably like the most recent one, besides Assassin.
Okay.
Besides.
Yeah.
Well, there's a Silent Hill.
Silent Hill was recent. After or before Prince of Persia? I can't remember.
The first Silent Hill movie though, so.
Okay, well that's good.
That's probably for the best. It's probably for the best.
We saw both, and we don't remember seeing the second one either.
Exactly, and that's also probably for the best.
Yeah, I still go and watch these movies. Many of them I like. Assassin's Creed I saw in theaters. I guess I didn't watch Need for Speed in theaters, or Hitman. I guess Assassin's Creed is the only. Oh, World of Warcraft or Warcraft.
Oh yeah,
I saw in theaters.
Was a new.
Oh wait, that was a movie too. I forgot about that.
I thought that one was really faithful.
They are rebooting Tomb Raider though, so
that will true.
So you'll be able to judge that soon enough. But I'm wondering if they're going to probably do it similar to like the current.
It's gonna be it's the current ones.
Yeah.
So the stuff that doesn't work.
It's probably not gonna be rated R, so it's like I kind of don't want to see it because man, that game is so good because it's such a.
But if like all the really brutal stuff happens to her, like I don't think anyone would believe that she would be alive.
That'd be a nice change of
like, how did you survive this?
Rebar through the side. It's okay. I'll just sit by the fire and eat a deer, and I'm fine.
It's like I believe this. I accept all of the things that happen right now.
The wound is never revisited, I think, in the game. It's just this minor inconvenience in the beginning. Maybe it was a dream. Was that the dream sequence?
I mean, does she still have like a hole in her when you gain control of her?
It's hard to tell. She gets really dirty. Maybe it's blood, maybe it's mud.
So I guess we'll see how
Actually,
that
that's
movie
gonna be
goes.
weird because like those two recent games have been so good. It's like I don't think the movie can match the quality. That reboot was such a good reboot. And then
Well, so some of the
good.
earliest ones I can think of are like Mario, right? The Super Mario movie. And the Street Fighter movie is around that time period, right?
Yep.
Oh, terrible.
At least it was campy though. So
I think today, I can't think of any of them that have been as bad as those were within the last like 2 years, unless did Tekken or Dead or Alive come out in the last 2 years?
There was a second Tekken movie. I don't know how recent it was, but I haven't seen either of them. So
I haven't seen the tech, but I mean I know one of them is an actual tournament or something, so it might actually be faithful, at least to a degree. For
costumes appeared very faithful from what I saw.
Oh yeah, because I haven't seen that one. The Dead or Alive movie, I don't think that came out in the last 2 years, did it?
It's old. It's older.
Because I feel like I've seen that like a while ago.
Yeah, it's old.
I haven't seen it.
It's very what I was expecting for our Dead or Alive movie, based on what I know of the series being as strange and fan servicey as it is. So I was like, I assume this is faithful because it seemed. I mean, the story was ridiculous, obviously, but I mean, it's dead or alive. So I wasn't expecting Oscar-worthy plot writing and stuff going on. So, but it wasn't terrible. It wasn't good, but it wasn't terrible. It's watchable for what it is. So yeah, because I don't know of any what video game movies came out in the last 2 years. I mean, outside of like Resident Evil Final Chapter.
I think it's just Warcraft, Assassin's Creed. I think the second Hitman may have been in the last 2 years.
Wasn't there a Ratchet and Clank CG movie?
Oh yeah, Ratchet and Clank.
Oh yes, that's.
I mean, plot-wise, I guess that one was fine.
I mean, 'cause it was basically
So much of the game is action that they really dropped the ball on the action part in the movie.
That is.
Yeah, that's sad.
So you should probably just play the game in that regard. The game is good. It's fun and crazy.
All right, final part. In a contest between games based on, or movies based on games and games based on movies, who's winning?
No one. We're all the losers. we all.
Lately, there haven't really been any movies adapted to games. So I guess games would be, or movies would be winning by default.
Well, there was a Cars 3 game recently. I mean, that's often the case, right? Like, game adaptations of movies tend to be, at least now, like casual stuff.
Yeah. It's not something you would spend money on. Or not something that you wouldn't spend money on, but like it's like not a full effort like a Spider-Man 2 type game. Or like big budget, I guess. It's just like a throwaway mobile or weird.
A quick cash in.
Yeah.
The Passenger VR experience.
I found the Wikipedia entry.
I don't want to be alone in the dark. Oh! So that's what that means.
There's an Angry Birds movie apparently that came out.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that did
Oh,
happen.
I've seen that so many times. I think it's actually kind of decent. I have children. Well, child. She really
You don't
likes
have to-
it.
You can't use her as an excuse for that.
She really likes it. And I watched it like with her many times. I was like, this is actually a pretty good adaptation of the story that they probably retconned into the game. Because like for a long time after Angry Birds, they were making Angry Bird cartoons. Like there's a cartoon series.
There is, yeah.
And in that, the characters like look exactly like they do in the game, and they don't speak. They just do the like Angry Birds sound effects when they like talk to each other and do all the stuff. And it's kind of like old like Looney Tunes cartoons, basically. And then when they came to the movie, it's like now they talk and they have like arms and bodies. They're not just circles or they're not just bird heads. But then like they kept all the personalities from the cartoon series, and which I think they retconned into the games. So I was like, yeah, this is a pretty good adaptation of what Angry Birds became. They're making a sequel to that one.
Oh.
Birds 2 will be out sometime, at some point.
Angrier Birds.
There was always talk about a new Mortal Kombat movie, too.
I heard about that too because they're supposed to be rebooting it, but I think it's been
Yeah,
stuck in development hell for a while.
because they did that Mortal Kombat Legacy, I think it was called, like a YouTube series. That was pretty decent. It was like the stuff that leads up to the tournament, the backstories of a bunch of different characters. It was pretty cool.
I would be interested to see how that movie would turn out, though,
Yeah,
because I'm curious as to how they plan on doing it.
I think like both ways, like stuff is getting better. I feel like the movies are getting better. Or adaptations of games are getting better as movies, and game adaptations of other properties. Like the South Park game was really amazing and super faithful to that.
Some people are just trying harder than others.
Maybe.
All right. Well, the list on Wikipedia for theatrical releases. I'm reading from the international list, so I might be missing some Japan stuff, whatever. So we've got Super Mario Brothers, Double Dragon, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, Pokemon the first movie, Wing Commander, Pokemon the movie 2000, Pokemon 3 the movie, Lara Croft Tomb Raider, Pokemon Forever,
Well, there's like 15 Pokemon movies, so.
Final Fantasy Spirits Within, Resident Evil.
Oh, that's one of the worst ones too. I forgot about that one.
Pokemon Heroes, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, The Cradle of Life, House of the Dead, Resident Evil Apocalypse, Alone in the Dark, Doom, Blood Rain, Silent Hill, Dead or Alive,
Doom was
Postal,
also terrible.
Dude.
Resident
Doom
Evil
was also-
Extinction, Hitman, In the Name of the King, Dungeon Siege, Far Cry, Max Payne, Street Fighter, Legend of Chun-Li, Prince of Persia, Sands of Time, Tekken, Resident Evil Afterlife, Resident Evil Retribution, Silent Hill Revelation, Need for Speed, Hitman, Agent 47, Ratchet and Clank, Angry Birds Movie, Warcraft, Assassin's Creed, Resident Evil Final Chapter, Tomb Raider, Rampage. Oh wait, never mind, that's 2018.
Those are all the future stuff.
Yeah, Resident Evil Final Chapter is the last one.
Rampage is getting a movie? Wow.
It is. The Rock is supposed to be starring in it.
Still want to see Baywatch. Anyway. Man. I forgot about Doom and Max Payne.
Doom was terrible.
There's like one scene that you can sort of get excited about. Is the part that looks like you're playing Doom.
Yeah, I was gonna say the little first person.
And that's it. Although I don't remember that movie very well either.
It's probably for the best. The twist is he was Doom guy, not who you thought it was gonna be.
What's his name? I don't remember. Plays Bones.
Ooh, they have a list of documentaries. I gotta watch these. Oh, I've seen some of these already.
Yeah, video game documentaries have been really good. All right, that was... I don't remember what we called it. Trioptical ass stuff.
Working title.
I found the Metal Gear Solid quote. It was, "Snake, we're not tools of the government or anyone else. Fighting was the only thing I was good at. But at least I always fought for what I believed in. Yeah."
Because I am the Metal Gear Solid. Oh.
So, do we have news this week?
The news is live.
Of course it is.
Oh man, I don't remember what we talked about last week. So
I don't remember seeing anything of note this week. Well, maybe that's why I was able to finish so many games. I spent less time reading about game stuff and more time playing. Is that how you do it? Is that the secret?
That's the secret. And you discovered it. Good job.
yeah, there's not a lot of news here or stuff this week. Oh wait, Tony Hawk Pro Skater HD is being delisted from Steam on the 17th of this month. So you know, if you want some of that. Better get on it.
Hmm.
Apparently, over 40,000 Steam accounts were banned a day after the summer sale. I don't know why, but you know, stuff happens. Looks like the 20th anniversary Pokemon movie is going to ditch Brock and Misty. What?
No, it's not even the same anymore. It's not even the same. And his new companions have Pokemon from different generations, so it's not even accurate anymore. It's just I don't even know. I don't even know what's going on.
PS4 Pro Glacier White Edition announced for Destiny 2 on PS4. So you know, if you're still on the fence, they're really trying to get you to change your mind. Even though I'm pretty sure that game doesn't have pro support, but hey, whatever. Right?
It's all like game specific stuff. So like I think the Tomorrow Children is getting shut down November 1st.
It is. I guess not enough people were playing it.
I guess there's gonna be a new, what was it, Kingdom Hearts trailer? Soon?
Yay! On the 15th.
And you can apparently import your arch nemesis and best buddy from Shadow of Mordor into Shadow of War after a new patch, which I didn't even know was a thing. I didn't know there's an arch nemesis thingy, so that's interesting, but whatever. Even though I've played through the game twice, so whatever.
Tropical knew about it.
Oh yeah, we talked about the Horizon Zero Dawn patch that adds Ultra Hard Mode and New Game Plus and some other stuff.
Now you can stab robot dinosaurs in the butt with all your new weapons and stuff. Even early in the game. Or they can stab you back in the butt. Because it was
Let
super
them
hard.
do that?
I mean, maybe.
It would be super hard. Because they're so big and she's so small.
About Chihuahua.
But yeah, we mentioned this last week, but Platinum Games is still teasing images of its Wii U games, so maybe they're coming to Switch. Maybe they're not, but they probably are. They're just, you know, doing the old PR drip feed game. Drip, drip, drip.
Like an IV.
I think that's everything, because I talked about the Assassin's Creed thingy last week, and I'm seeing it again on here. And, yeah. We talked about StarCraft 4K as well, so yeah. At least from this one source I'm using, that's all the news I see, dot, dot, dot.
Good job. Good job.
But like we said, not a lot of news this week, so that would confirm that.
Unless you want to hear about Paragon, which I don't know anyone who does. And the people who do were here, and we already heard it. Or I
did already hear it. You were here.
And he read it, so.
I did. I did read it.
Okay, so I guess we can just wrap it up, and yeah, that'll be that.
Cool.
Oh, well, there's some more stuff on here, but it's not important, so whatever. Nothing important. Just news. So, you know, check us out. Aimless Podcast, Aimless Babble Z, on the internet. Google us. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and anywhere else where you think we will be hiding in the shadows for predatory kill. I mean, hang out and listen to our adventures and stuff. Anything to say before we sign off for RPG?
Well, you wouldn't have to worry about me being predatory because, you know, you'd see me from a mile away. But, you know.
Anything to say before we sign off, Tropical?
Play XCOM.
All right. We'll be out of here and until you see us next week. Aimless Battle Z, and we're now signing off.